So,
Hey, Andy.
Hi,
Hey,
Andy.
man. I didn't know we start. I saw the 6:30, so I was waiting.
Chaille put out some disinformation.
I
So
You
know.
saw the
yeah,
6:30
yeah.
and disregarded the 6.
Man, I'm swimming
Good
through
man, see?
Twitter trying to sort out shit about the vaccines and about who's winning over there in Ukraine. And now I got Chaille's getting us.
Chaille's part of it. He's
Well,
gaslighting.
Andy used a little logic and knew not to listen to what I was saying directly.
Well, he did it right because Andy went with the latest time, like
Yes.
the newest time. Like, oh,
Yes.
yep,
Yeah.
there's I'm looking at the link right in front of me, and it says this is the time we start.
I started to do that, and that's why I clocked in at 6:08 because I was like, well, let me see. Hold on.
Well,
So
I beat all of you. I sent all the text messages out, and I sat down here at 4:30 Andy time, ready to start the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wondering where the hell is Erickson? He's not
Chaille
home
got-
yet.
Chaille got it wrong twice.
I got it
But
wrong
then-
twice, and I'm the one who scheduled it.
Chaille
then
showed
when I
up
get-
at the Four Seasons gardening fucking place.
Yeah. I feel like it's all like, I mean, I think most of us have seen what happened to Mitch McConnell. It's like, I feel like they're talking about, they're having a committee about UFOs or whatever they call them now, UAE. UAP.
UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Okay, so they're talking about that today, and then Mitch McConnell, who I've long suspected is a lizard person, just fucking freezes the fuck up.
Yeah, well, his
He didn't have
conduit to the mothership was cut, and he didn't know what to say.
I've seen strokes. Strokes are, they're.
Wait, is this really what happened?
Yeah.
This is a meme.
Even when they reset that motherfucker, he still didn't even reset.
No.
I saw that shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, Chaille, I tweeted it, retweeted it, Chaille.
It's pretty hilarious. I thought he had a stroke, and then he went away, and I was like, it is pretty funny. He had a stroke like on camera. But this is now that I think about
Wait, Andy, let's be clear. Strokes aren't funny.
Well,
No,
it
this
is.
one
But
is.
it's
This
I mean,
one
we-
is, Chaille. Wait till you see
Depends
it.
on who has them. Let's be honest.
yeah. I mean, that was kind of funny. If it was on camera,
Look,
in the political spectrum, Lindsey Graham would be another funny one because he's
Oh,
an
absolutely.
actor. Ted Cruz, hilarious. I'll throw some. I can't think of any Democrats offhand.
oh, there's
Nancy
tons of.
Pelosi.
I wouldn't
One of
mind
those
seeing.
cocksucking politicians has a
I wouldn't
stroke on
mind
camera.
seeing
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're being
absolutely.
stroke specific, but like overall,
Yeah.
strokes aren't
I mean,
funny.
Well, Dianne Feinstein is already she's in permastroke. She has
Jesus.
got a fucking droopy eye. She looks like Carrie Mitchell after 3 hits of ecstasy.
Yeah.
She's got a droopy eye. She's looking around. She's not sure what's happening.
Trying to hug strangers.
She refuses to quit.
I mean, let's just take a look at that. How fucking what is going on with being a representative that you do not let go, even in the bitter end, when you could just be like kissing grandkids and
Yeah.
putting $1 bills in birthday cards.
Well, that's your
she's-
political party, won't right? They won't let you go because they don't want to lose the power. That's how that
It's
works,
so
right?
Fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
I don't
partly
know
a
how it
flaw in
works,
our
but it
it's partly
seems
a
like
flaw
that's
in our
awful.
system in that committee assignments are doled out to the people who have been there the longest, right?
Yeah.
So Mitch McConnell has a lot of power in the Senate because he's been there so long. So there's people of Kentucky are motivated to keep him there because they've got their senator in a powerful position. If he retires and they get a new guy, then that guy
They
goes to
traded
the-
all
Well,
for
that
a handful
motherfucker
of
might have
them.
retired today.
He might have.
Yeah,
He
no,
really might have.
he kind of had a weak showing on the other end of it. But I mean, if he comes back and there's no problem, then there's no other way to look
then
at it.
you're-
And he's an alien, if he just or a robot or AI, some sort of a fucking. But why would you have a fucking? I mean, that's a. Why would you? I mean, okay, there's 2 ways to look at it. You'd want your robot to be like badass, next level shit or whatever. Why is
Terminator.
Yeah. but maybe you put him
You
in.
should have said, "I'll be back" right before he.
Yeah, put him in a chicken face or whatever, and then he's not. You don't realize it. But what he did was he just had a glitch. It wasn't a stroke. A stroke looks different. Where's my camera?
You're making this big point you've been working on since you saw this video, and we're going through it without seeing your face. You're frozen.
I keep yeah. I
Big
know.
brother
Talking about a
shutting him
glitch.
down.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah. Where's
Well,
James Inman? Tell us all about it.
I did
We'll
make
tell you.
sport with the target on Mitch McConnell and all, so I guess I deserve some of this. What? It doesn't even give me a default. I don't want to. Hey, go ahead. I'm listening and all. It's just,
Yeah, I'm reading the article on Mitch McConnell.
You got to watch the video on Twitter.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, we'll wait. We're cool.
Well,
It's,
I deleted Twitter, guys.
Did you?
oh
Yeah.
Did you
What?
delete your account or just the app?
I deleted the app on my phone and I kept the account up so that I could still put out links to issues with Andy and Doug's
Well,
Down
just
podcast.
jump on. It's gotta be. It's all over. Gotta be all over the place.
Chaille
It
did it.
happened
That's what I
today.
did.
But
too,
also,
Chaille.
this is the other thing. This is the bad
God.
news this week is my account for YouTube Premium that lets me be able to play videos and stuff without commercials. The account has lapsed, and the guy who I have I'm on someone's family account.
Chaille.
He hasn't redone it. It's Randall, so it could be weeks.
Oh
Yeah.
my
They
God,
upped
Randall!
that shit. They upped the price on that shit.
Yeah,
I canceled
yeah.
mine
So
because they
your
upped the price
YouTube
on it.
Premium is hooked up with the guy who showed up out in the middle of the desert in Panama, coming off a 14-hour drug-fueled drive,
Yeah.
and then we gave
and he let it lapse. You say?
Yeah, for some reason, it just he said something about a credit card and all this. And I'm like, all right, well, I just want to know. And then I looked at the price, and the price is fucking like $18.99 a month. And I'm like, fuck that, man. So
I let mine
Yeah.
lapse because I had it through whatever Apple where they make it easy where you just click your free
Yeah.
trial and with one
Yeah.
click, and then you forget, and then you're subscribed. And that's how I had it. And then they told me it's $18.99, and I was like, fuck, what was I paying? I didn't even forgot I had that.
dude, I gotta tell you though,
I
Going-
canceled it, but then they emailed me and said, well, hey, if you just go over here through YouTube, it's $13. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that next payday, because I'll tell you what, I can't watch fucking you. I use YouTube
dude,
a lot
it's
as a tool.
unwatchable.
I
It's
use it as a
unwatchable
tool.
with all those
That's where I
ads.
learn shit. I use it like audio engineering. I learn a lot of shit from YouTube, man. I'd be even dumber if it was not for YouTube.
Impossible.
And I know. And
Well,
Prosperous.
maybe we
Chickens
can,
are
maybe we
fucking
can work
hungry
some,
right now. That's how I learned to make their auto feeder. And it's
maybe
so
the
I
chickens
need
will
it.
pitch in.
Yeah.
So what are they? They're just fucking charging for it's this upgrade, right?
Well, you get premium, you get no
Don't get
commercials.
commercial.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other thing that I use it for is because I'll listen to like a lot of stuff is background. You can put something on YouTube and then
Yes.
play it in the background on your phone and listen to it like in my pocket. I use it a lot for that.
Does anyone ever like go to you get interrupted? Like, usually you're listening to a tune or something, and then you step away from your device, and then it'll go on like a 7 or 8 minute real estate pitch, and you get back there. Does anyone ever go call up the real estate place and say, hey man, I'm interested in doing some properties, and you just interrupted a concert I was jamming to while painting a house. I had
Someone
to
must.
climb down a fucking ladder and I fell, and I could come over here, limped over here, and saw this fucking ad that took over my music. Thanks, YouTube. You fucking hijacked my ears, you assholes.
No, but then at the end
we're
of
on
that,
there.
at the
Sorry.
end of that, you say, I am actually interested in your product, and I think that maybe we should have a conversation,
Mhm.
because your broken ass leg, you couldn't get away, you couldn't turn it off, and you listened to the whole pitch. And now you're like, actually,
Is that where the interesting part
reverse
is at the
mortgage is a
end?
good idea.
Yeah.
There's no downside.
One time I called up, it was just, it didn't help anything. I'm sure, I tried to talk to the wrong people or whatever, but it was a barbershop quartet for a Jiffy Lube type place.
Wait, a barbershop quartet
Well, it
and a
was-
Jiffy Lube are not the same thing. Other than the fact that both of them have about 4 men working there.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's true.
Air
But
filter.
yeah, right. It was an ad for a radio ad, and it was so fucking annoying. And it was on a loop, so I heard it like 3 or 4 times on a short drive, and then I called them all upset about it. Like I was legitimately like, trying to help, but I was being condescending. It's like, hey, man, that's the worst kind. It's not really considered music, and I don't know why isn't this frozen. Shit, man.
Yeah, we've
What's
been just
going
looking at Still Life Andy for a little minute.
I'm looking
Yeah,
down.
that's the other benefit to that YouTube Premium is I know a lot of people will pay for that Spotify and stuff. I've never used that with that YouTube. I get the YouTube Music, so I get a music app that I just listen to music with no ads on all the time. That's what I listen to music on.
The original thing we were talking about, I want to loop back to for just a second, and that is the
Damn,
fact
we're going
that
back to politics, aren't we?
Well,
Son of a bitch! I
no,
thought we had it.
I really think that Mitch McConnell
Pelosi.
having a stroke on fucking television today
Yes.
is worthy of Chaille even watching it while we chat. It's only about 30 seconds long,
I
but when
definitely
you watch
agree.
it, Chaille, and you have to have the
No,
sound.
I'll pull it up because I can just pull it out. But
You have to have the
there'll be an ad
sound
up
on.
front.
We'll do one of those things where it's like, all right, we're watching the 2 adorable young black kids listen to a Phil Collins song for the first time, and we get the reaction shots.
I definitely agree with that. Shaylee has to watch it.
All right.
If you guys didn't bring it up, I was gonna.
See,
So
it's a political story Chad's into. It's huge.
Well, I mean, I knew it was going to be funny. That's the thing. I don't mind if we talk politics if it's fucking funny. I say that all the time.
You've always been steadfast in that point, and this is funny.
Yeah,
And it's not politics. It might be alien invasion. Body snatchers.
it's that video's already been clipped with that other one with that chick gets off the plane going, "That fucker's not real."
Yeah, man.
All right, here we go.
Path to finishing the NDA
What the fuck is going on with my
this week
shit?
has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Oh boy.
Oh,
I'm trying to.
they pulled his plug.
I'm rejoining.
Look at the one guy's
Hey,
like his
quiet.
eyes. Look at the other guy's eyes.
Yeah, they're like,
someone-
do we do
what's
something?
happening on the other side?
Yeah, because they're all body snatched too.
Stick your finger in his butt.
No, that's if
if
he
a
was
dog's
fighting.
biting you.
Oh, it might work.
But look, there he goes. Chaille, I even think you should watch it. You should watch it like, remember in the scene, remember House of 1,000 Corpses? Remember that
Yes.
Rob Zombie movie? There's a scene where our old buddy, it's Walt Goggins, as a matter of fact.
Oh man.
I think it's Walt Goggins. Well, anyway, it's the sheriff or the deputy who gets fucking murdered while on their knees in the driveway.
Yeah, that is a fucking.
It's one of the most intense scenes ever. But what happens in the movie is he's got the gun to his head, the guy's on his knees, and he's begging for his life, and then that kind of stops. He's like, no, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then he's got the gun to his head, and then the camera slowly pans back.
It's a drone shot from way up high. It is fucking disturbing.
And it takes like 30 seconds for him to actually do it. And there's no sound at all, except for like the rustling of the wind through the leaves of the trees. And it's just intense. And that scene always blew me away. That watching Mitch McConnell is like that. When you just sit and watch it, it just goes on for so long. You're like, no one does anything. You're just like waiting for the fucking gun to go off and then to fucking drop over into the fucking gravel.
It's
like,
that thing though,
dude.
that like the beauty of it when Andy's obviously having some technical issues. The beauty of that scene is the pregnant pause before the gunshot, because you're like, here, it's gonna go.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is so well done. I mean, I love that movie a lot for a lot of reasons, but yeah, I can't. Was Walter Goggins in that?
He's the deputy.
Oh man.
He's that fucking
movie is this?
squirrely deputy who fucking
I know who you're talking about.
yeah. He's
Oh my
like
God, that's him.
Walton Goggins. That was his first fucking movie, dude. He's fucking great.
What movie you guys talking about?
House of a Thousand Corpses,
Oh,
the Rob Zombie movie,
yeah.
which to me is the best horror movie. Like I feel like I don't like horror movies because I don't know if you know this, but they scare me. And but that movie has got like I feel like I enjoyed that movie a lot, and it's got like all the horror movies rolled into one movie. So I feel like I can watch that movie and get my whole thing done. You know, they've got the fucking Lurch kind of Frankenstein character that's super creepy.
Yeah,
and
that was the
weird.
guy who was on Howard Stern a lot too.
They got the chainsaw fucking cutting bodies shit going on.
Texas Chainsaw guy. Yeah.
I should watch that again, but I convinced Jenny to watch that with me, and she does not like scary movies. And then I smoked too much weed and fell the fuck asleep. And that's such a funny story that I haven't rewatched it, but I need.
Hey, you do. It's an incredible flick.
Here's right at that scene. We've all seen it, so I'll show it to you.
Then I will tell them
yeah, it is Walt Goggins.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah, he's the best. And Bill Moseley, who plays this guy, is fucking
Bill
great.
Moseley's awesome too, man.
Yeah, now watch this, Chad.
You can see the other dead dude on the ground. Perfect. Yeah, the guy that plays the deputy is in The Hateful Eight. I love him in that.
Oh yeah.
God damn.
Right?
It's so great.
You're like, did it freeze?
No, they froze it. Yeah, they did freeze it. They didn't even show it to you. Because it ain't that long. But it's incredible.
It's still rolling on my the player's still rolling.
Yeah, but
they extended it.
Oh, it was that whole time. That's what I'm doing. That was Mitch McConnell's stroke today.
So there's a bunch of pumpkin-headed characters in that scene that you can see on the like around the perimeter of all that garbage and stuff.
Damn it.
And those we did a haunted house with those once, and it is just to have people walk through with a bunch of characters with pumpkin heads, and you know one of them's gonna grab you. It's like the Erickson. Remember when you did the haunt in Bisbee?
Yeah.
At the when you were standing up on that block, and they had 2 or 3 dummies in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we got the idea for that. Was we did that for Universal at the House of a Thousand Corpses maze that we did with the pumpkin heads, man. And we just had one guy standing there and get them all the time. Well, we went back to make some had to find something to do while you were
he's a little fucker. He's always, I mean, he just seems like he's such a, like 6 foot tall anyway, but he looks like he's about 5'6", 5'7" from that
Mitch?
footage. Yeah, he doesn't seem very
well,
tall.
he's also 90 years old, so people shrink up, Andy, even if they were like normal size. By the time they get, I mean, that was clearly someone who is almost dead.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
well, if he just quit,
much longer.
If he quit politicking, he could probably live another 10 years. But he's having to get up every day. Someone's got to shave him and change his diaper. I mean, that's taking a lot out of him.
Put his suit on.
So, he doesn't know how to button a button.
That's a clip on.
And I'm not saying this from experience. Clip on suits. I'm not saying this from experience, but lying is fucking stressful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, getting called on it. And then if you react, if it bothers you, I mean, some of these new warriors on the battlefield, either side or whatever, they sort of seem oblivious to criticism. Like that George dude, he made up a whole resume. He's like totally all over the place or whatever, but he's fucking feasible.
Well, I think politicians have always done that to a certain degree, but I think once Trump got on the scene and was like, wait, we can just blatantly just fucking say that we didn't say shit that everybody saw us say.
That's
and then
on
go about our day.
Yeah. He kind of showed people
I don't know we can do that.
and that nobody can give him any shit on it, or when he would, like
You just keep doing. You just keep
yeah,
doing
yeah,
it.
you double
That's the
down.
Well, I
thing.
mean,
It doesn't
it's not
compound,
over
people
yet,
just
guys. There's
forget.
still
Oh yeah,
still-
yeah.
there's still some the piper to pay on this, one way or the other. He's going to be the next president, or he's going to be in jail.
Yeah, I hope they lock
maybe
that Hunter
both.
Biden up.
Maybe both.
I hope they put him.
Bunch of
It's been a fun episode so far, you guys.
This is like when we should ask for hey man, if you can help support our podcast, get on the Patreon. Because we do it at the end, and then it's like sometimes people go in and eat a bunch of buffet, and then they'll take off before the bill drops. I think that's what happens. We go at the end of our episode. People are like, "Oh, I'm full," and it's like when the collection plate comes out at church or whatever. It's like some people got to go to the bathroom right before it comes around.
You don't want to get in the parking lot when everybody's leaving, man.
You got to get out of there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, there you go. That's it.
I hope they put him in jail with Hunter Biden, and they're both fucking hitting the same fucking
No,
pipe.
dude.
Eventually Hunter's over there smoking his pipe, and Trump's like, figures you junkie or whatever. And then he's like, hey, you want some? And he's like, yeah, fucking pass that.
That's it. And then they break out of prison together, and they have a Defiant Ones fucking remake where they're fucking handcuffed together.
They're handcuffed together.
Fucking, hoofing it through
They
the
have to
fucking
work it out.
Louisiana swamp.
Trump and Hunter, you'd have to be Trump first because of his
Oh,
ego.
yeah.
But yeah, those two would part. I mean, they're actually, would hit the same rock.
Oh, for sure.
The same
Look,
rock.
those guys would be friends in prison. For sure.
Yeah, it's
You
like
guys,
wrestling.
you guys remember that South Park where like Obama and McCain were in it together, and then they're trying to break into the White House, and it's all
Right.
I'd like to think that's how it all is.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
behind the scenes is all in it together, and everybody else is the rubes.
There's some level of truth to that for sure. It's definitely a Coke and Pepsi kind of thing,
That's what I'm-
They're each happy to take the other one on as long as that's the only game in town.
Yeah, it's the
Good.
pro wrestling.
And there's the Libertarian Party has made an appearance with his Royal
Yeah.
Crown cola.
They're all in the same pro wrestling
luck,
locker
Royal
room.
Crown. Yeah, but Chad, you're right. They're all making money. They're all happy to be in power.
Yeah,
And being the party that's out of power is still being a party in power. So they're fine with it.
yeah, and the turtle, he's gonna come back around. Don't you worry. That was, to me, that was just hilarious, because it's just it's like any of those things that come up where it could be 10 different explanations, like Obama's sous chef drowns not far from his place on his paddleboard, and it's like, there's tons of conspiracies to how this guy is a good swimmer in the water. It's like, everybody's
People die every day.
Yeah,
Every day.
I know. Yeah, I was on a paddleboard in still
Austin,
water
Texas.
with turtles, and I fell into I could see drowning just on ineptness or a mouthful of water, and and people don't see it right that second, and you're I don't know. But
I mean, if you haven't had a couple at our age, in our declining age, gentlemen, if you haven't had a couple of things in your life where you've thought, fucking A,
Whoops.
whoa,
Yeah.
then you haven't lived. I mean,
Right.
come on.
And every once in a while, one of those things gets the person.
Yep.
yeah,
That could be what's happened with the sous chef of the Obamas, which of course it's, whatever. But the McConnell thing is it's funniest to me that it didn't happen to Biden, because everyone's
they would have
Biden is so old and he's got dementia and he shouldn't even be in power anymore. And then one of their heroes has a fucking 30-second stroke.
Well, Joe's was a stutterer. It's hard to say, stutterer. as a
It's
kid.
kind of cruel that that's how you
So like
describe
if his head froze up like what happened to Moscow Mitch or whatever, cocaine Mitch they called him for the back in the day. But what happened to him was a complete freeze up. But if Joe did that, he'd come up with he'd struggle up with a word.
Yeah.
But McConnell just seemed like he was like, his program ran out, like, you know, take the robot back and put a new battery in it. They moved him to the side. And it's funny, I get these on Twitter or X, whatever it is, these different like morbid stories or whatever. And there was a comedian, English comedian magician. I think he was English. I don't know. He died on stage. And I reference that in a tweet. Like I think he's pulling a Tommy Copper, or no, that ain't his name. That's the
I saw that and I thought to myself, who the fuck is Andy talking about? So you started following a thing that I follow called Morbid Knowledge.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So they just do, you know.
Yeah, that was on there this morning about this guy, and then I was like, well, hell, so you know, he died on stage. It's worth a read or whatever, and he was doing like some sort of magic thing, and then he just sat down, and the guy thought he was gonna, you know, because sometimes he
thought it was part of the act.
Yeah, sometimes he would pull a pigeon out of his hat that they didn't expect or whatever. So it wasn't quite sure what was going on, and then the show had like it was a variety show. So he died. He wasn't the closer, unfortunately, for, you know, that would have been the way to go. But he died. They took him off stage. And then they adjusted a couple acts because Donnie Osmond was going to come out with like 20 some dancers and light the stage up. But for poor Copper, he's dead. He did his last show. He died doing what, you know, he loved, or
died doing what nobody loved.
He made laughter out of fucking thin air, and people loved it. You know, it was a fitting end to. But that's what I was hoping. They just took McConnell off the field, and then find out he's
Tommy Cooper.
Tommy Cooper. Okay, I was trying to Tommy Copper. That's the guys who give me them great fucking elbow bands that help with pain. They don't give them to me neither. I have to steal them from Rite Aid.
Yeah, well, good thing you're not paying for them. Yeah, it was funny because I read that tweet and I was like, I don't know who the fuck Tommy Copper is or Cooper. And then it's like, of course, it's a tweet you read earlier in the day about some.
That's knowledge. You can only hold it.
Person that, you know.
After you get a little knowledge, you pass it along while it's still in there. Someone had that knowledge tomorrow.
Tommy Cooper. There's probably 5 more famous Tommy Coopers than that.
Yeah. The Cooper's brothers out in Cooper's.
You didn't retweet the tweet. You just referenced the guy.
Well, he just said, I thought Mitch McConnell was pulling a Tommy Cooper. That was the tweet. And I'm like, who the fuck is Tommy?
Because Tommy Cooper got pulled to the side
I still liked the tweet because I like all of Andy's tweets. So even if I don't get them, I'm like, well, it must be funny somehow. And I was like, what the fuck? Who's Tommy Cooper?
Yeah, it's one of those, you know.
Did he spell it Cooper or did he say Copper?
I think it was Cooper, but I also think it's funny that you for sure started following Morbid Knowledge because I started following Morbid Knowledge.
Yeah. I kind of like waking up to that, you know, like
there's some crazy shit on there.
Tragedy is a dish best served colder or whatever, but some of them are pretty fresh too. So you read some, it's like, oh, that was yesterday or whatever. But most of them are, you know, it's like, oh, there's nothing I can do about it. A little cannibalism happened over there in Australia, and here's how it went down, you know. And then there's always usually a follow-up article so you can hear what shook up. So I like that. That's my, you know, I'm not political anymore. So morbid.
So Elon's algorithm is working for us because we both got fucking hooked onto Morbid Knowledge after the Elon takeover, and that started coming in.
Working for someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X is doing it right.
You
guys do a lot of shit.
What I've been.
Oh, you deleted the app, Chaille. You don't even know.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but it's like I read this article today saying like, why would you like there's a dollar value attributed to the branding of Twitter and tweets, and it's in the lexicon of everyday life now. We know what a tweet is, or we tweeted. Why would you fucking get rid of that?
Yeah.
Well, Chaille, a lot of people said that the internal combustion engine was going to be around forever, but then my guy came along and said, let's just do an electric thing, bro. Totally.
But there were already electric cars before that.
Not like these. He's rebranded cars. Now he's rebranding social media.
Oh,
genius.
All right. So
those engines brought on all this fucking climate shit, man.
Yeah. See, he's also solving the climate crisis.
Solving
electric cars? Yes.
That's not solving it.
You can drive around.
Solving it.
All my Microsoft stuff has a big X on it, though. For my Xbox.
This is a different X, Chad.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
He doesn't own all X's.
No, he just got the cool font one.
It's almost, I was going to say, it's almost the same X with that one-sided finger on the Xbox.
It's a genius move, and you guys just don't see the 4D chess that this guy's playing.
Remember
You're right about that.
I think he's trying to run shit into the ground. I think it's a genius idea.
Remember there's a shoe company, I don't even know if it was a company or just they put out shoes that had an upside down Nike swoosh on them. That's what this whole Elon thing.
Yeah, you talk about the knockoffs you got at Marshall's when you couldn't afford
they're like a Marshall's or whatever the store was. I can't remember, like a it was like a scumbag, low class foot.
Wait, didn't you get those, Andy, for school one year?
Yeah, I had upside down ones until I started getting, I had to go, work the circuit to get the good shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I started.
You were really forced into it because you needed the good shoes.
I think that's how kids who need, are whatever, vulnerable. You can tell by looking at their shoes. If you're like a family, would-be family friend, and you're looking around, the youngsters got, holes in their shoes and an upside down swoosh, take them home and poon them. They're yours.
They're yours.
I mean, I'm against it. I'm not part of the liberal elites that drink their blood or anything.
That is how to spot them, though. Be wary of any guy checking out kids' shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then how do parents buy shoes?
You gotta buy your kids shoes. You can't rely on a molester to get your
you gotta get
school clothes.
You gotta worry, if you get them too good of shoes, they might get robbed from taking them in the schoolyard. Your shoes aren't very good, they're gonna get picked up on their way home from school by the janitor.
by a shoe daddy.
Hey, let me take you to get you at least a couple of stripes on those shoes. Anything less than 2 stripes and you're getting molested.
All the kids' shoes now light up, Andy. Now that you're making me think about it, what the fuck? Now you're making me think there's a thing.
Yes,
you can run away. You got kids who are the real
they can find them in the dark, Erickson. I don't know.
The savvy kids have wheels on their shoes that they can kick into the wheel mode if they have to. The van's catching up to them, and then they just start rolling.
They can actually get away now.
If as many people get as they talk about all these molestations and as much of it's true or whatever, but it's also a lot of it is fantasy. There's like a whole new thing about just hero fantasy, it's a Taxi Driver. It's a different version of Taxi Driver that they I've been hearing these different stories and shit, and it's like it's just kind of a new it's what do you want? You want to be a hero to a young whore, okay?
But it's culminating with this Sound of Freedom movie that the right is so excited about, and it's really just an exploitive thing by a guy who doesn't really do much to rescue any children, but he likes to talk about how much he does.
And he had a lot of kiddie porn
he researches a lot of
Pete Townsend. Pete Townsend just watched a little bit of it.
Thing.
Yeah. Like I'm doing a research for a song, What? For a Michael Jackson song?
I think that was
Yeah, that
Rough
kind of went
Boys,
away.
for
Like
real.
Pete Townsend didn't he didn't really get canceled from that or anything, right? It was just kind of
That was way before any of that was going on.
yeah. It's just a quirky little side detail, and when he
This whole thing with the with the right being so obsessed with child sex trafficking and how it's just this 800,000 children a year are in America are
like,
lost.
Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It is in 10 years, 20 years from now, we're gonna look back on it and it's gonna be just like the fucking satanic panic of the 80s. In the 80s, everybody was worshiping Satan and it was sweeping the nation and it was ruining the country and everybody pissed their pants over it. And literally no one was worshiping.
Yeah, I know.
Except for the hilarious people.
I got swept up in that, hype or whatever. And
Yeah.
my brothers with the backward spinning records and shit. And I thought, if Satan would have been around or whatever, like had a church with Jello squares, I would have been on down. I mean, I could have fallen prey to it. I liked a lot of the music,
The Jello squares would have been like Tabasco-y and kind of spicy and
but
hot.
sweet, but sweet too.
Just a little...
you can't turn people off. When Satan makes Jello squares, he really knows how to fucking dial it up.
He pulls you in. He pulls you in.
As long as they're cut in a square.
They're either really hot or really sour. And then Satan's laughing either way because he's got a great sense of humor. That's one thing we do know about the great almighty Satan, is he has a fucking fine sense of humor.
Absolutely.
And he don't like none of that fucking pandering bullshit that Inman does.
when you talk about satanic panic, remember the West Memphis 3?
Yeah, who did they brutalize?
They all went to prison for a crime they didn't commit because that was what the story was that they were doing, that they killed those kids for in a satanic.
Well, it was a ritual Satan worship.
And it was really, allegedly, the stepdad, who was the one who was basically the main person testifying against the West Memphis 3, saying this is all the shit that he saw and that he found, and and he's the one who fucking did it. Like, that was, that's an example of where we're going with this whole child sex trafficking thing. It's going to end up that some people are fucking roped in who have no fucking idea what's going on. And the people who are really doing anything like that are fucking hiding in plain fucking sight.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, what are those folks?
These
are the three dudes.
Yeah.
What was the one guy's name?
Erickson, how long did they go to prison for?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It looked like a yacht.
I watched the documentary.
Did they make yacht rock music together after this?
Damien Eccles? Eccles, is that his name? I think that's the main guy. I don't know which one that is. I think it's the chubby guy on the right.
Hey, prison food sucks, man.
Yeah, it might be the guy in the middle. I can't see because Chaille's head in the way. But that's not him. I think it's the guy.
Yeah, I got their mug shots.
It doesn't look like him, but it's the one on the right.
With all the long hair guy. Yeah, there they are.
Oh man, that one guy doesn't look tough now, but with that mullet, he's menacing.
I would have killed for Charles Jason Baldwin's hair back in the fucking day. That's what I was going for the whole time.
Yeah, I wonder if he goes, oh man, we're busted. Oh no, it's up here. Oh man.
So the Damien Eccles was sentenced to death. Jesse Misskelley Jr. to life imprisonment plus 2 20-year sentences, and Jason Baldwin to life imprisonment.
Crazy. That's where we're headed with this fucking, this hero worship of people saving children from sex trafficking, which happens but isn't anywhere near the fucking thing that is being blown up into. And these people who are telling you they're helping save these children aren't doing a damn fucking thing about it.
They meet up and get all riled up and shit, or it's this online sickness or whatever too.
Yeah,
but shit, man, if I heard a kid wailing down the street or whatever, I might go drive around. I'd have to get my shoes on whatever, you know, it's 9
Your
times
fake
out of 10,
niceness.
they're just making racket or whatever. But to be, it's like sitting around in your car, you know, you know what, if you're one of those folks, and I know we have don't have them on here, especially on Patreon, but anyone who is into that shit, you want to break up some sex traffic bummers or whatever, go to a fucking Waffle House late at night, or a fucking Motel 6 for breakfast, and you might run into some sex traffic in there. Maybe if you're lucky. I mean, that's where you'd run into them. It's like they're moving them, you know, from place to place. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to help.
Well,
I'm just waiting for the payoff here. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
where was it?
I don't
what's
know.
happening? Are you?
I'm just saying, man. There's no pizza
So
parlors.
what I'm hearing you say is that if I'm at a Motel 6 continental breakfast at 8:30 in the morning and I see a chubby 55-60-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl, I should rescue her from that fucking
That's right.
disgusting monster
Put
who's
down-
going to turn out to be her dad because they're at a soccer
Put down
tournament
your-
and they got up for breakfast before they went to the soccer game.
Because they got a long drive.
You're gonna want like a Saturday market and get somebody to make yourself a badge.
I
It's a
think
pedo
most of what
buster.
and I don't,
You just show up at places and go, I'm highly suspicious of this, and then
Yeah.
start praying. The Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of the
Yeah.
Lord, watch over you. This child, can I pray for your kid?
I mean, right there.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Who's
it's a
going to
fine
deny
line.
that?
It's a fine line between being Bible man and being another youth minister guy in an outfit that molests kids.
Mhm.
I'm not
that's
saying
an online thing, and they don't really. Most of those people don't go outside, so I don't think it's a real life problem. I think they just share stuff online, like save the children, and then the people that had you share that meme, then now they have your information, and they're like, "Hey, we got another sucker in the bucket," and then now they have your information. It's just a fucking low level fucking scam for a sucker bucket, right?
Sucker
yeah.
Right?
Sucker
I mean, that's
bucket.
what that is.
bucket.
I'm
If I could,
pretty sure.
That's what we should have called this podcast. Every couple of weeks, we come up with a better name for this podcast. Sucker Bucket would have been a good one. Welcome back to Sucker Bucket.
Let's
Not you,
rebrand.
the other guy.
I'm not even kidding.
Hey
That's
man,
what
we
he's
can just
saying.
rebrand. Everybody's doing it. Yeah, there's Bible man. That's Tommy.
Yeah,
From fucking 8 is Rough.
Willie Ames.
Tommy, Willie Ames?
Willie
Yeah,
Ames
Willie
is
Ames.
Bible
He
man.
went from being a guy who was living a fucking life of sin, hanging out with Scott Baio, sexually harassing that beautiful Heather Thomas, and
Figuring
Zapped.
those girls on Charles in Charge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
harassing him on Charles in Charge and shit, and then realizing that even though you had cool hair, you're a piece of shit. And coming to terms with that it's like, wow, now the hair's gone and I'm a piece of shit. What can I do about it? Well, I can get a fucking Bible man costume.
Whatever happened to him, too?
I don't
Because it
know. He
seems
probably
like
still goes
could've-
around, churches
he-
up.
If he was, because this whole Bible man thing, he was just ahead of his time. If he did that shit now, he
Mhm.
would be fucking rich.
Well, he should be like
because they support their own little culture to prove that it's good. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing with the Sound of Freedom movie, they're buying out
overboard.
theaters. They're buying out theaters without going to the movie. They're like,
well, they're
benefactors.
astroturfing is what that's called.
Yeah.
The term is astroturfing, buying up tickets and shit and not attending. But he could be, Bible man could be like the Alfred now, and he could have a new Bible man, and he's like teaching him verses and shit. It's like, I don't know if I have enough faith to go out there and do it, you know. And it's like,
Don't you remember
Revelations,
Ezekiel
bro.
6:19?
we ain't got time. It's Revelations. Like, shit, man, you got to make people, you know, like the new Bible man can't fuck around with, you know, trying to save souls. He's just got to kill all the lefties. You can't
He's
save
got a chainsaw for an arm.
yeah.
Bible in one hand, fucking chainsaw in the other.
Yeah, Bible like a fucking like Andy Dufresne with a hammer behind it. Yeah.
Or maybe he just
Real
beats
big
the
hammer.
fuck out of you with the Bible all the time. Like he
Mhm.
starts to read and then he just fucking, you know, ninja style, just fucking ways.
And it turns out, like I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where like a outdoor preacher lighting up a commons area, but there's one at my college who used to always do that shit, and people just let him go. It was sort of funny, but he'd tell us we were gonna burn in hell.
He did what?
He do like outdoor preaching, improv. See, like when a guy's like got so much spirit of the Lord, he's
Like,
gonna go interrupt people's lunches
He's
and
like
shit.
knocking over trash cans and
Basically this guy
trees?
would light up the commons area with the word of the Lord, and people were gonna like he'd a couple of times he looked at me and said I would burn in hell. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to this is not even gonna it's kind of, I thought it was a state college, it wasn't at the time or whatever. It's like, it's really kind of harsh to just to show up at lunch, but we should have treated him like a a town drunk or whatever. It's like spray him with seltzer water and run him out of the bar by the seat of his pants. Don't beat it,
Spray him with seltzer water.
Wait,
someone grab me one of those seltzer containers.
You guys got any seltzer? Oh man, I thought you were bringing the seltzer.
I would work in a bar somewhere just so I could run somebody out of the bar by the seat of their pants and say, "Beat it, Rummy."
You got to get him by the back of the shirt.
But that's been me. I've been thrown out of that place, and then I've come back later, and they refuse to let me back in like weeks later.
Yeah,
that's a way to hold a grudge, or
you leave an impression, Andy.
Yeah,
you'd be good at chucking them out, though.
But I think I look like a lot of guys.
You'd know all the techniques. You'd know all the little squirms they could do that you anticipate them. You'd be like, no, bro.
I had just enough karate to be effective at getting out of the first wave of bouncer.
You got to be like water, right? That's the fucking
the mighty willow bends in the wind.
You got to give a little. You got to give a little and take a little. I think McConaughey had backed me on that.
Let's see. He likes it.
I just watched a little. I got a big dose of McConaughey with Interstellar.
Good movie.
I went and saw Oppenheimer.
I want to see it.
I thought it was going to be I bought an IMAX, and then for some reason I was thinking it was a 3D. So I got them 3D glasses that Squeaky Tiki sent me. And so
I don't think
wait for the nuclear bomb to go off.
Well, I mean, I realized when I brought my own because I was like, I don't want to try, have the theater 3D ones. I'll take my own. I have a set. So yeah, and then I got there and it's like, oh wait, this isn't 3D, it's IMAX. That's different. And they don't. I was kind of bummed. I mean, I wouldn't have bought.
Still put them on. Tell me you still put them on and watch the movie with them on.
I wouldn't have gotten no fucking IMAX to it. It's just like a bigger screen. But I was thinking, there'd be Japanese people being hurtled towards me.
Andy,
melting.
Say the name again. I'm gonna say the IMAX.
Oppenheimer.
No,
IMAX.
It's maximum for your eyes.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah, and now you got to sit in assigned seats.
Yeah,
I haven't been there. There's not even a ticket person. You walk in and you show them your phone. Like I can't imagine trying to walk Larry through into a movie. It's not like the old days where we just leave the door ajar. You gotta have a fucking ticket.
One guy buys a ticket and then opens up the exit door next to the screen. There's a rock in there.
Yeah.
The rest
Andy,
of the fucking.
If he was gonna go to the movies, it would have to be with someone, right? He wouldn't go to IMAX Oppenheimer.
Well, he wouldn't understand. Yeah, I mean, I don't. He's not up to speed.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd probably show up with 3D glasses. The fucking
also.
But I was thinking that's why I upgraded, because I was thinking instead of IMAX that it would be 3D. And I thought also there's a part of Oppenheimer that's disappointing for me. And it was also from a humanitarian standpoint, I was ready to see it. I didn't want to. But then when you don't see the big blast, 1 or 2, it kind of takes away from the experience a little bit. And shame on me for going in there with the expectation that I would have it in 3D and there would be Japanese people flying overhead melting and shit. and I would just start to relax at the horror. The horror would just settle in, and then some fucking elderly guy would come out of the sky and almost, whoa. So yeah, I don't know why I thought it was that, but it was not.
I don't know why that's a selling point.
It was. I was in a
horrific.
fucking, it would have been horrific, but that's what I was like. God damn it! I'm gonna, I haven't been to a movie in a long time. I want to see horrific. What we did to the Japanese was horrific. I want to see it put into fucking pictures.
You want Hollywood magic to really paint.
Yeah, and think about what they're trying to do now. They're trying to squeeze out all these extras. They could have just done like one Asian person and made it look like 1,000 or whatever, and that would have
like the way they did the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
It's like but they
That's
didn't use
pretty
any,
racist.
they really didn't use any. I think I mean there was a little scene where they showed look like archival village shit or whatever, but really they didn't. I mean, when I went to Platoon, I saw some Asians get lit up, man, and I wasn't for it.
The movie's called Oppenheimer. It's about the guy who
I know. I know. I saw it.
Led the development.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should go.
about
You should go
him.
see it. It's not a lot of laughs. I can tell you. I've
Not a single dog.
I laughed more and
Not a
Brokeback
dog
Mountain.
in sight. The power of bullshit, if you ask me.
Yeah, there was dog. I think there was dog. I know every time I see a movie now, I try to remember the dog, especially when a dog, is either off. I mean, they're an important part of cinema, and now big Hollywood wants to replace them dogs where they just want to scan one dog and then have that be the dog in all the movies. What next? Are they going to put in fake voices on dogs and have them do adventures? Come on, Hollywood. We've got to rein you in. Yeah.
Oh my God, Andy, I swear to God, if I fucking walked into a movie theater to watch Oppenheimer and I looked over and I saw some guy sit down with a bucket of popcorn and put on some fucking 3D glasses and sit there for the fucking previews,
I didn't
ready for the movie to start,
I
would be like, I am watching the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I'm like a froze up Mitch McConnell in a movie. I'm docile, tiny in a seat, but it was an assigned seat. So I was just gambling and I can't look at I can't sit in a movie theater. I have to look at you. I can't just sit somewhere and be cool with it and stay. So I was thinking maybe buy a handicap, but then I'm thinking maybe I'll get a gurgler or something, because there was a couple of seats. I thought chances are maybe those won't fill up, but it showed, where I could, it was like selecting a seat on one of those shitty airlines. So I selected a seat and it was there was a 1-person break. So I took, chance and took one of these. And then there was like fucking old folks over here and then feeders. They brought a big tub of shit and they had a bag of stuff they were crinkling. And they were all fucking making, they didn't just sit down. It was like a production, you went over, just fucking see, which number, like your fucking hoople heads. It's not a fucking concert, so I moved from there and then I moved, I just moved down a row. And then there's a dude in front and another a crinkler and a weirdo flung his thing, he's like, it's like if there's a, just fit the shooter thing, and plus it's IMAX. So it's like, maybe I'm getting a little too close, but this guy is, he's the guy who's going to shoot these other people. If anyone, he's got an overcoat and, he's just
you're figuring the strategy of the shooter, the would-be shooter would be not to go for you first.
Well,
There's
closest. I mean,
people
if
who are
I'm a
more
shoo-
annoying in the theater. Is
if
that what
I'm
you're
a
saying?
shooter, I'm going to want to go. I want to start and work my way back towards the exits. I want to give everybody a sporting chance.
Well, you're good.
I mean,
like
I'm not a shooter, but that's how I mean, you know, I think it through as it's a good mental exercise to go through. You know,
Always
if I
have
were
your
a shooter,
escape
who
routes
would I
planned.
start with? So that guy, I moved away from him because one, I was getting too close and he seemed weird, or just
But
like
I thought you said there were assigned seats.
there were, but you start and then you still, there's empties now. I can,
Okay.
I can see who hasn't, So, but it's just I moved, I guess just 3 times, but just like not far from people, but just you fill in, you're too close, whatever. They're gonna share popcorn and pass it around and then be right next to me. So eventually I'm gonna like kind of feel left out, but also I don't want to dip into their thing or whatever. But it's like, I don't want to, necessarily be around their shit.
So
Gotcha.
you were thinking about which one of these people was going to be the theater shooter.
No, but the guy in front, he was just like one row in front of me. I was a little too close. So I'm starting to notice that like this is going to be too close of a fucking angle. But this guy just, he seemed fine with it, and he was a row up, and it's just like, he had a big coat. He flung that up over, and it's like it's summer. So, I'm like, I had a law enforcement class back in community college, so I'm thinking
That's a
yeah.
red flag.
Profiling.
Right there. Yeah.
Like Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop.
That was your class.
Is that you? Is that you, man? But trouble. He seemed like it's kind of creepy.
What I was going to say is I think that, you're looking for the shooter in the theater and everyone else is seeing you move to 3 different seats before the movie starts. And they're all thinking, that's the guy that's going to kill us.
Mm-hmm. And then somebody, here's a weirdo. I mean, it was loud, right? It's Oppenheimer, but before the movie, the previews are always loud, and then they blast you with the, to show you they can. And then some old person, it's hilarious, like Grandpa Simpson type. He goes, and then he wasn't being funny. He goes, does anybody else think it's too loud in here? It's gonna get way worse, motherfucker. This is Oppenheimer.
And
there's a atomic bomb that is gonna.
Yeah, I'm ready. My ears are here for it. My eyes, they're kind of fucking bummed because there won't be bodies hurling at me or whatever.
Yeah, you should have looked at him with your 3D glasses on and said, "Oh, you think you're disappointed?"
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess they don't even, now that I think about it from I don't know why that popped in my head, but it would be a fucked up movie that way. You'd be like, not only is it showing you the shit's coming at you, but then, it'd be cool that scene or whatever, but then you'd have to go, I guess it's a whole different director that would show you the city's getting blasted and bike carts coming over your head or whatever. I mean, there's an artistic way to do it where you don't have to show as many people dying, but I just thought, follow the bombs, man. It's like Oppenheimer made the bombs, they put them in a truck, and then they don't really show the next step. And that's where I was like,
what do you mean they put them in a truck?
They sent them off to the
fucking dangling them. They're dangling us for a sequel. We got to see Hiroshima city, city unaware.
Oh, Andy, you're a fucking beautiful soul.
Why would those people be there to see a bunch of Japanese people fly over them? Sick fucks. It seems wrong that they would, it just seems so fucking wrong that it would even be
like Andy wearing 3D glasses at Schindler's List.
Well, I
just know.
I just got a new pair from him too. Look at that. So now, if they do put it, if it comes back around, but I wouldn't, it's not a cool
diary comes out.
Yeah, it's like you're right there in the up in the attic with her.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to a cool 3D movie, and I was all excited about it, but for the wrong reasons, probably.
You didn't think it was weird that there was nothing on the poster that said 3D?
I guess when it was on my phone. And then, it's just in my head, I thought,
you got
standard
IMAX
you know,
and 3D
standard
and stuff,
or,
that's
you know,
whatever.
IMAX. So I'm thinking, oh, IMAX. And for some reason I thought,
Okay, this
that,
is
you
more along the lines of your
well, I paid
deficiency in
twice.
reading
I paid
all the way through.
double, you know, I paid like, you know, it was 20 instead of 10 to see it in what I'd hoped would be 3D.
Yeah.
And you can bring 3D glasses, but that don't make a movie 3D, motherfucker.
Make it work.
'Cause I did take a peek. It's like, no, nothing. Just makes it blurry as shit.
Imagine if you didn't have 3D glasses.
How
You would have
far
been
into the
walking
movie
around
were
going,
you
hey,
wearing-
I didn't get any 3D glasses. Who the fuck hands those out?
Yeah. Yeah, you're sitting next to him and you look over and you see him wearing them and you're like, well, what the wait,
Wait, why I didn't get them?
I didn't get any.
Oh man, yeah,
Well, he
you
paid for
could bring in
3D.
a few, you know, you could bring in a crowd of people with those and go, whoa. But you know, my thing on the Oppenheimer movie, it was a very good movie about Oppenheimer, but I was there to see a tragic story that would change my outlook on life, and I
You wanted to
left.
see flying bodies.
I didn't want to. I just felt like that's what I was buying the ticket for.
But this is the irony, Andy, because you didn't like The Power of Dog because there were no dogs in it. But you also are a little disappointed in Oppenheimer because it was exclusively about Oppenheimer. It was
Right.
literally
Well,
what the
Right in the title.
was.
and nobody said Grizzly Man at the end. You know, you're gonna see this. You know, put on your 3D glasses because this bear eats this fucking guy. So you won't believe it, and it takes a lot longer than you think. If you can get past the first half hour of screams and just hear the bone crunching, I think you'll appreciate it.
Oh my
3D.
God, you're the best. Have you seen Barbie? Did you go do it?
No, I don't. It doesn't appeal to me, but I did see people, you know, like, you know, just big whatever dresses, tutus and silly shit. So it's like fun or whatever. But I just, yeah,
But you
it
go.
seems like a
what
movie.
time
I
did you
could
go to the
wait 'cause
movies, Andy?
I went at noon.
Noon.
Noon on it was 100 degrees.
Oh,
and
it's summer. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
I
was
went
gonna
in
say
to go.
matinees.
You know, I
and
wanted
stuff
to
like
go
that.
relax
Kids are
and
gonna
watch
go.
a funny movie.
lighthearted
in
romp.
3D, a lighthearted movie about Oppenheimer and his hijinks. He was
Yeah.
a practical joker.
Did they try to shoehorn a love interest
He
angle?
boned a couple of chicks. He had a
Ah,
girl.
there
He
we
had
go.
a wife.
Hollywood
he was
never
a-
disappoints in
Well,
cookie cuttering.
this is a little gossip from well, I can't protect my source, Andrew, little Andrew, who drives a pickup that once belonged to Linus Pauling, who was a good friend of mine who came to my college and gave me some vitamin C. Anyway, Linus Pauling would have gone to that project had Oppenheimer not tried to fuck his wife. Like those two were buddies, and then Oppenheimer made an
Wow.
awkward play to fuck his wife, and that was the end of it. They weren't buddies anymore, and Oppenheimer kind of stole his hat idea. So they both wore the same kind of hat, and then Linus Pauling went with a more dapper fucking Cosby-esque hat. So it ruined his life. It kind of ruined his life because he was
We're
probably
getting deep. So
it was his
Oppenheimer, not only did Oppenheimer invent an atomic bomb that killed tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, ruining their lives, he also ruined another guy's life
well,
by
he's a
stealing
pussy.
his wife and his hat idea.
Yeah, he took his fedora and ran with it, and then it was like Linus Pauling went with a flat hat, and instead of working on a nuclear bomb, he ended up giving long lectures of fucking. I wasn't able to listen because I was stupid. I
No,
had
I'm
that
not seeing
figured out.
any pictures, Andy, of, not to disagree with you, but like all the pictures of the hat on Oppenheimer are from the movie. On Google, I
Well-
see on Google Images, I see pictures of Oppenheimer, but he's not wearing a hat.
Well, Linus Pauling back in the day. That's what. Anyway, that's just hearsay. But
From you.
and Andrew has Linus Pauling's truck and knew the family, so that was the official story. When Linus Pauling came to my campus, that's when I tricked the yokels that were from, I think they were from Grants Pass. They were just like idiots that lived next to me in the dorms. And I would this is a cool thing you can do if you live in this situation. Man, there's not as many record albums as there used to be, but you get a record album cover and you fill it with liquids or creams or whatever, and then you put it under the door and then you smash it and you can spit stuff into somebody else's room.
Oh yeah.
So I would do like science stuff like that with these guys, and I told them
Science.
Semi-science.
Well, we've done the research.
I was
and-
experimenting with stink bombs and shit like that. Well, I'll try it down there in the yokels room. They were like dummy, like I couldn't. Yeah. So that's the kind of lecture you're gonna get. Like all that shit he's got on the board, he's gonna tell you, explain that to you. And I'm like, I was in a class and I knew what it was, but I told these two dudes who like I had to go there. I had to make note or something for credit. And I want to hang out with a dude who's a genius and talk about pussy and why they should cut down the preacher in the commons area. How do we get rid of the guy who's out? Hey, Linus Pauling, I got a question. There's this guy who's talking about the Bible out in the commons area. Would you grab him by the scruff of his neck and the back of his pants, or twist an arm?
Yeah. Toss that rummy.
So I told these two dudes, I go, this guy does these mental tricks like bending the spoon, shit like that. And they walked all the way up there, and we attended that lecture together. And we sat up in front, and I soaked it in. I can't tell you any of what was discussed. I just know he handed me a vitamin C afterwards. And, but I tricked those two dudes, and they had to sit there waiting for this guy to do mental tricks and shit. He did not. He's like one of those guys who will not do his closer. Come on, Linus, bend a spoon, man.
Here's Oppenheimer's hat.
Yeah. See, he got that from fucking Bob Dylan.
Well, I mean, that hat seems more like.
See what happened? Linus Pauling and him
seems-
hung out. So here's a little thing,
though.
and I read this on the internet, so it's knowledge I have now, and I'm sharing it with you. That Linus Pauling's wife thought that maybe he would have been happier going after Linus, and they both agreed, like he had like a genius, genius crush on him or something. So, and then he tried to fuck his wife instead of him, because look at him, well, Linus was his first, they were that tight of bros that if they, they would have, wanted to do the Ringo, or not Ringo, but who were the Beatles that were jerking off together? Was it George and,
what?
George and, there's a couple of Beatles that chucked off together. Hey, do the research, man.
Where would you research that?
Beatles jacking off. I know John was one of them.
I'm not looking
It's
that
probably
up.
Paul and John. They were a couple of
probably
fucking
George and
housemates.
John.
Yeah,
Probably George and John. That sounds like a George and John. So.
yeah. Ringo. Ringo.
Yeah.
He's
Look.
He'd be worried about, am I keeping the beat? Am I the one everybody's looking at?
And Paul's too pretty. You'd come immediately. So. Yeah, it's got to be George and John.
Oh no, I think it was Paul and John. It's in my history book. Let me just get a volume. I wish that's what they.
Oh, right here in Vice, I got an article. The Beatles have been talking about jerking off together since the 60s. Beatles fans have already known that Paul and John had wanking sessions together because apparently neither of them could shut up about it.
Yeah, what if we just throw them out and give them a wrestle, mate? Give them a tug or two. It helped. They were a great songwriting team.
Yeah, I want to hold your hand.
I mean, if Erickson was like pulled into corporate and they're like, "Hey, man, we need a better rhythm on these trucks. 15 of us are going to jack off together, and don't question Elon." He's relabeling Twitter.
Dude, this guy's a genius, man.
The guy fucking sits around and has.
I don't know why you guys don't see it.
Can't
believe you don't see it.
Hey, he's like Oppenheimer, but his bomb is going to be that all-angled truck.
Hey.
They probably won't show that on the road very much either.
Jesus Christ.
You want to see that in 3D coming apart.
Why
Look out
you?
for that other sharp piece of fucking metal. Oh, I walked him. He's heading back to do another shift.
Yeah, he's gonna work harder.
He's gonna go line that door up. I saw in the news article they were trashing that said the door wasn't lined up.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Picture of the truck. I wouldn't bring it up while he was in the room.
I couldn't even see where it was misaligned.
I didn't see it either. I even zoomed in. I'm like, you guys circled it, and I'm looking, and I still don't see it. Looks
Still
fine to
doesn't-
me.
Everything seems to line up fine. I mean,
Yep, I thought the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, that it's like DeLorean's first car out of the can wasn't perfect, and look at what happened to those.
well, that's not that the Cybertruck. Well, it's kind of we should be talking about this with Erickson, but the
Well, he
Cybertruck
can't.
isn't his first truck or his first car. It's his first truck. But
Yeah,
I don't know,
Are
man.
you guys done
truck.
with your
How about this,
blasphemy?
Brett? Truck V, and it's like a truck and like an RV, so you can sleep in it. It has a sleep pod. It's perfect for comics.
Do you have any drawings?
Yeah, I can
You mean a
put
van?
some
Like
together.
Man.
You mean for free? I don't really like to let my ideas slip out there.
Well, you brought it up. I mean, I'll take it to him if you want.
Yeah, a little sleep capsule, like almost like a coffin. It's like a coffin, but it's just
That's
like
a good way to set it up.
well, like
Be sure to add the word coffin in your pitch.
it's like Interstellar. Do you watch the movie Interstellar,
Yeah,
where that thing Matt Damon popped out of?
yeah, his little.
It's
yeah,
funny. I was
wow.
watching that movie, and it's a long watch, and I didn't quite get it. But then I was looking at the cast, and it was like Matt Damon. I'm like, I don't see no Matt Damon in this movie. There's no possibility how Matt Damon could be in here. And then I wasn't paying attention for a second, and then they're like, unzip a bag, and out comes Matt Damon.
A bag full of Damon.
Yeah, he was in a bag. So I don't know. Maybe that was
I
explained.
thought that
earlier
was a
in the
good movie. I like Christopher Nolan movies.
Which one was Interstellar? Is that the one where they had
With
that big
Matthew
contraption?
McConaughey.
They were going into a time loop or something.
Yeah.
Sort of.
No,
yeah.
that's well, no, he did Inception and Interstellar.
Not Inception.
Oh,
What was it?
Inception. Okay, that explains some of that.
Wait,
'Cause
Interstellar wasn't that the one with Jodie Foster?
No, that's Contact.
Contact. So I haven't seen
In Interstellar, they were astronauts. Like McConaughey was an astronaut, but he was like traveling at such a speed that when time was at a different pace for him. So
like in his cult.
yeah.
I could see some of the ideas or the shit. I can see him formulating. It's like, hey man, that'd be pretty cool to phrase that or
So
whatever.
it's a time
It's
travel movie.
There's some
Yes.
deep
In
thoughts
in
them.
a way, but in a cosmological sort of way, if that makes sense. It's not
No,
like,
I-
oh, I
I
went through a
know what
time
that
warp and now I'm back in the 50s.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm an astronaut and I'm traveling at the speed of light, so time doesn't pass
It
for me
wasn't a
while
a
it passes
dog.
for everyone else. So everyone else is getting older while I'm staying the same age. That kind of
Yeah.
shit.
They didn't have a dog in that one. There was not a
No?
dog.
Any
I don't think so.
monkeys?
Huh. I
think
don't remember. I just read about a monkey in space on the ham, the first fucking humanoid or whatever they call us when we're primate, one of us to go up into space. He was like, a billionaire chimp.
Wait,
what are
are
you
you
talking
implying
about?
that it was the chimp's idea to go to space?
Yeah, he's fucking rich
And then
a lot of
a chimp is a
It's probably-
billionaire and
No,
a
I'm
humanoid.
just saying that's who's doing it now. But the chimp got shot up by NASA,
Right.
and then he
I think
lived
the
out.
first animal was a dog in space.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, but this was one like we're kind of monkeys, primates. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Absolutely correct.
We're fucking do the science, man. I don't have to do the science, man, because I read the Bible. Did you? Okay.
Oh, is that it?
I'd go to space. I hope that they have space travel before I'm dead. I'd like to go up into space and look down on the Earth. Would you do that?
No.
Oh, I don't even want to
Yeah.
go out on the ocean.
It'd be like
yeah, I've been down deep in the ocean, and
That's scary.
that was awesome enough.
That's scarier
Yeah.
to me, honestly.
being down in
Andy,
the
would you-
ocean. Yeah.
Would you go out into space on a space tourism rocket?
If it was like a one-way fucking, you know,
Andy, they don't do one-way
yeah.
pleasure seeing trips.
Yeah, well,
That-
see,
you can't
I mean,
market
you can't,
that.
you know,
We
those people who are on
guarantee
the
you
spaceship,
one-way passage to the moon.
those people on the spaceship Challenger got a one-way.
Yeah, Andy's
But they
changing
didn't
my mind.
advertise it that way.
Well, but that'd be enough,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, if they want to get my tourist dollar, there's got to be a guarantee that this thing's going to explode within the first couple of minutes or whatever. I'd like something to
Or
scatter.
they just let us off when we get there.
Yeah.
Like we land on the moon. All right. And they just open
Yeah.
like a
Good
bus
luck.
door and we just we get off.
Yeah.
And just
And I mean, I've
explode.
been around other like Americans, and you're with a group of Americans, and you're just, you know, you can just see it. And I don't want to like go up into space and be like show up in some other complete other species going, that guy's a fucking
I'm
douche.
not talking about you're going to live on fucking Jupiter. I'm saying if a rocket ship would take you up and fucking do a couple orbits around Earth,
I
as,
do
like
that,
space
yeah.
tourism, I would definitely.
But I
do
wouldn't
that.
even call that going in space. I'd just
What
say,
do you
I
mean?
went in the
You're
air,
How is
man.
that
orbiting
not
the
going in
goddamn
space?
Earth. That's where do you think
Space
this happens?
Space is when you go up Uranus or something, up to Uranus, or you know, like I'd consider the moon space. And if you don't go
Yes,
as far as the
but I
moon,
mean,
if you go up over past and do a loop around the moon, you'd say, all right, I did space. But these guys, you know, like fucking William Shatner, dude, you know,
Oh, they went just
dude, blast you
outside
up.
of Earth's atmosphere.
right. I'm not talking
Yeah.
about that. I'm talking about going, like, if you could go up and do a couple laps like the International Space Station does,
Couple
where
laps.
the space station takes 90 minutes to do an orbit around the Earth. Now that's fucking hauling ass.
If there's nobody
So,
in the middle,
To me,
seat, I'd
that's
do
in
it.
space because you're. I didn't hear you.
I said if there's nobody in the middle seat, I would consider it. I'd have to see where everybody's sitting on the spacecraft and see if I could handle.
And
90
he's sitting there with
minutes.
his 3D glasses on. When do we take off?
When's Oppenheimer gonna blow this shit?
Oh man, I would do that though. I hope that is available.
You can go to Disneyland and do a similar, you know.
You can't though, Andy. You can't actually go into space. I mean, it's not.
There's that
Right.
one. There's one ride
There's
themed
the-
that way.
The
Space
Yeah, you-
Mountain.
Space
How,
Mountain.
Erickson, let's figure this out. How are you on spinny rides and stuff at the carnival?
I can handle. I think I can handle the. I think by the time they have space tourism, it'll be like getting on a plane.
You still have to fight the gravitational pull to get out of the atmosphere.
The rocket does. but
Yes.
they can make the user experience such that you'll feel some G's, of course, but you won't be like, you're not strapped to the outside of the fucking thing. They can make it so
But
that
you're still
don't-
feeling that pull. You mean they talk about these guys sometimes blacking out going up.
You gotta go through
Dude,
all the
that's the
training.
Apollo fucking.
Yeah.
That's how I fly that thing. Right on the edge of it with my big furry ape friend Chewbacca.
Yeah,
and you
you
bring
did.
Clyde from Any Which Way But Loose.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
made it
oh,
to
man.
you made it to the whole deck atmosphere in 12 parsecs or whatever. What was it that Han Solo said the Millennium Falcon could do? There was a famous line that he had.
I
Yeah.
would just get it wrong.
It was 12 parsecs. That was the amount of time it took him. It was an unbelievable trip.
He's a fucking
That's-
bullshitter, man.
I'm not, Chaille, I don't think by the time space tourism happens, it's not going to be any more stressful than what William Shatner went through. And because it's the leaving the ground part,
Sure.
that's the hard part. And they
Yeah.
already did that with this old fuck. Like, it's just going to get easier and more user friendly as it happens. And eventually, we're going to be able to go up like space station height and do some fucking orbits. I would
Well,
definitely, absolutely.
that's
do
a
that.
wonderful world.
You got a sketch of that
Yes.
for
yes.
Elon?
Yeah, I mean,
pass
he's
it
already
on.
on it, dude. We're already doing it.
See, that's where I'll be like,
You're making fun of the fucking pointy truck, and we're out here fucking building rockets to
Front
take the
line.
fucking species to the next level.
Andy, you
What do
never
they do?
heard of the
What do they-
Cybertruck? It's the truck that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
Are they?
Thank you.
How does it cut through mudslides and how does it hold up?
There's no
under
mudslides
fire?
in space, bro.
I'm talking about Earth, man. Have you looked around? The ocean is 100 degrees in Florida, 101
Yeah.
degrees in some parts of Florida, which
You don't think we're gonna need to be on a spaceship to get the fuck out of here?
future trucks, man, can they go out into the water? Can they
The Cybertrucks will allow us to navigate what's left of our barren Earth while Elon builds the rocket ship that's going to take us to Mars so that we can build a utopia.
But
don't
you
know
can't
how much
hold a
easier
whole
I-
sheet of plywood in the back.
I don't know.
But what if
You
Zuckerberg
can get
spin
lots
kicks that
of sheets of
motherfucker
plywood in the back
There's no way you could put a full sheet of plywood in the back of the Cybertruck.
of a Cybertruck.
I'm going to look up the payload of the Cybertruck.
Okay.
What if Zuckerberg just
Bullshit
spin kicks and
plywood.
cracks that big fucking dude's melon?
Oh, now
Fucking drops him.
really talking crazy. Now you're
Zucker-
really,
Zuckerberg,
that little 5'7"
Zuckerberg is
little
Cobra
bitch.
Kai. Zuckerberg is Cobra Kai. Musk is still one of them fat kids who hasn't decided what dojo
He's
to
Hawk.
go yet.
Musk is Hawk.
He's
Oh,
Hawk.
the kid with the mohawk.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I guess that's they're still bringing that thing
Starts
back.
out with a
more and more.
lisp and then he turns into a badass. Look at that. You could fucking fit 40 sheets of plywood into that thing.
No, you couldn't put one whole sheet in there.
Oh, absolutely. You
See,
can.
payload is
Cybertruck
3,500
is
pounds.
huge, dude. It's
How
like
much-
That's full
eight,
air suspension.
it's almost
103
19 feet long, Chaille.
It's what?
19 feet long almost. It's
Yeah, but
show-
the bed, 4x8 pieces of plywood
sheet
would not fit
eight
back there.
feet. Easy.
All right.
Easy.
Mhm.
I'll
You put a
a
whole
4x9
body back there.
sheet in there.
You put a full size corpse unfolded like a
Who are you
6
killing?
you know, that's what you're going
Yes.
to need to worry about for the
It's a
future.
truck bed. You guys have fucking ever? Why
What?
do you?
It's got
It's
enough.
okay, so right here,
What?
Tesla says it will have a 6-foot bed and an underbed compartment, so like a little storage area probably for tools and stuff,
Boom.
and exterior extra storage in a diagonal piece that runs from the cab to the back of the bed. So
Where's the
a sheet of
gunnery,
plywood would be sticking out the back, like right now, it'd be hanging out the back of the thing.
Can you get like
Nah, it's slide
modifications
right
like
under that
machine
little
guns
spot.
and shit? Like a James Bond version where you can grease the road for that's the future.
Oh, you want a road greaser installed
Well, I'm just
on the
thinking,
underbody?
we're headed for a dystopian future, and this thing, I feel like it's just a plain old truck. When you strip away the ugly angles, it doesn't have any gunnery.
Being very harsh. I mean,
No, I
this
love
is-
them. You know what? It's the same with Jason.
look at that
Aldean.
thing. That's
I just
badass.
don't like the music. That to me is a different looking thing than the truck, but it's cool. It looks like like in Death Valley, man, you want to haul around rocks and shit. You fucking cool.
I think the
Yeah.
people that are going to buy these
It's like
things
an
don't want to
RC
scratch
car.
the bed. What?
Yeah.
No,
Our-
dude, these things are gonna be fucking badass, and you guys are just jealous.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think they're fucking the wave of the future. Wave of the future.
Where do you see them, man?
But I'm ready
Yeah,
to go to the
it'd be
homeland
incredible.
with Mitch McConnell and some of us other reptilians.
Mitch McConnell's not gonna.
That
see
was a sign in
Cybertruck.
my
The,
community.
the
when Mitch
Cybertruck will
uses-
be out by the end of the year, and Mitch McConnell will never see one on the road.
Mitch McConnell will also be out by the end of the year.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's
So it
gonna
says
be a
here that the
shame.
Cybertruck has a frunk.
Yes, all Teslas have a frunk.
You know
Yeah,
who else
yeah.
had frunks? Women who had too many babies. Right? Isn't that the same kind of a thing? A fr-
No,
a gunt. It's a car
yes,
gunt.
you're thinking of a gun.
That's
Okay.
a gun.
Don't get a frunk and a gunt mixed up.
You
You got
can't
your
really
guns in
store
front.
anything in a gunt.
There's a trunk in
mean,
the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
can
Trunk
put
in the
stuff in a
front,
gun.
party in the back.
I don't know if you guys know this, but a Tesla doesn't have an engine, so you have room in the front to Put your
It doesn't
gun.
have. It doesn't have.
You
a
can store all your
combustion.
guns in your frunk.
Yeah.
So where do you keep your engines? It's all batteries.
One, bro. Yeah.
Batteries, and then there's a central motor, but
There's
it's
it's a drive unit. It's not. It's like the same sort of motor that runs your cordless drill. When you press on the gas, the exact same thing happens that spins your drill. The same.
right.
It's
Oh,
always in the wrong
That's what's
direction.
spinning the. That's
Is
what's
this always-
spinning the wheels.
So is this
So-
always like you think you're going forward and it's in reverse?
You gotta press the button. You gotta
Okay.
press the other button, bro.
hit the button to change this.
Like, God damn it! Why isn't this screw going in?
The fucking
Ah,
directional
strip-
arrows don't make any
Strip the
sense.
head again.
The
Yeah,
wheel comes
Stripped
off.
it.
Oh shit.
you gotta take your Cybertruck back because you stripped it, bro. Sorry,
Happens all the
Well,
time.
happens all the time. Get another one.
Hey, you don't drive with those 3D glasses, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, you hop out of a car with those 3D glasses on, the cops are gonna fucking throw you in jail. Oh, officer, those handcuffs are getting pretty close.
Yeah. Hold them back.
There's probably somebody who's been arrested in them.
Oh,
I watch a lot of people's misfortune videos these days.
well, you're into the morbid knowledge. You're watching.
I like the morbid knowledge. It's just kind of a sit alone fact,
Yeah.
just that kind of thing makes me think, like, yeah, I mean, God forbid something happens to a family or whatever, but like when it does and I'm reading about it or whatever, I can kind of like, okay, well, like you can, I'll bet the dog got shot. It's, like first person got shot and the dog wouldn't shut up. So he shot the dog and then grandma, or well, it's just like it's like you read it and you try to figure it out. Like
It's
a
also
puzzle.
lots of stuff like this is the last picture taken of
Mhm,
you know
mhm.
22-year-old
Yeah, I love
Danielle
that.
Thompson right before she
Mhm.
jumped off the fucking cliff.
Hanging out
and,
on the
like,
edge
fell
of a
to her
cliff
death.
or whatever,
Yeah, it's
going,
like a lot of shit like that.
Yeah,
find
I like
that
it,
It's it's scary, but it's
it's a bummer.
titillating, so it's
Uh-huh.
interesting.
It's a bummer, but some people don't make that jump like they should. Like there's a place in Oregon, the Blue Pool, where they're thinking of they got all kinds of plans for trying to curtail the injuries out there, but it's like a 2 mile hike there, so 4 mile round trip, and you end up above the Blue Pool, which is beautiful source of water. It comes up through underground river, but people can jump off of there and and it's very cold. It's like fucking freezing, so it's like people will jump in and fuck up their have heart problems or swallow water.
They'll hit the water and then
A lot of
they'll-
rescues there.
They'll open their mouth
Yeah.
from the shock of the cold. Yeah.
And you see dudes, it's like all these fucking YouTuber, there'll be some dude who's like, thick fucking frat guy who's, jumps off and does a backspin. And then that just fucking puts 5 or 6 other people on the edge there thinking, nah, I saw that video, I can jump. And then they just fucking take a late step and fall and crack their head. And it takes, here's the problem. And that those videos are fun too, but post those. They won't post in the
The
same
oops.
vein, it's like, here's where it didn't work out or whatever, but they don't. Now you're going to be restricted from even entering it eventually. I've been in it, but not from the dude jump. I've gone down below to the scramble, which is not easy to get down there. That's dangerous too. But I
Where did you say this place was, Andy?
It's called the Blue Pool.
The Blue Pool.
It's got like an Indian name too, Tuckanich. The Blue Pool, but it's called like
Tuck and itch.
Tucking
something
it.
like that.
That's actually the
Tuckanich
move you're
Lake.
supposed to make when you jump in.
Yeah. Well, it's like Crater Lake. It's fucking very cold. But anyway, I don't even know why I brought it up, but people fall all the time. I've been out there. I've walked that
Hamalich
trail.
Falls.
Tamalich,
Hamalich.
also known as Blue Pool. And because of fucking YouTubers and shit, now that's a shit show out there and people are getting
Yeah.
injured all the time and stuff. When I went there years ago, and there was a there was at least one nude. It seemed like there was a dude with her who was further up the trail, but there was definitely like, this is a naked chick who had no context. It's like just, you know, you're hiking and then you run across a nude chick, you know, like just for, you know, having a cool hike, you know. I didn't, you know, it wasn't really known as a nude hike or whatever, but then there was this like a squirrely hippie dude down the trail. So I was like, okay, I guess they're probably together or whatever. Maybe it was a crime in progress or something.
Could have been some
you know,
sex
but
trafficking.
I think,
You
you
could have
know,
saved.
Yeah.
You're
Should have
too
done
worried
more
about
research.
scrambling
Well,
down to the blue pool, and here you fucking ran
but
across.
it's like
I mean, Andy,
technically,
don't you get it? The blue pool.
and it's
Blue,
so where
working blue?
Chaille's at is where people will. I think that's the leaping point into that
Yeah.
fucking thing. And
Jesus.
I've been down there
Incredible.
behind his head all the way down there where you just jump in and I can't imagine, you know.
How deep is that, Andy, in the middle?
About 30 feet. It's not real deep, and then it's not very deep on the edges, which makes for
You got to
know,
get way out there if you're
I would
jumping in.
yeah, I think I could get on a loop of watching, you know, like you only get, you know, if you look it up, you'll get like a couple highlight ones, but I'd like to watch a reel of like, you know, say 100 people jump off of it, because it would be, you know, a lot of fucking people get fucked up down there. It's a rite of passage if you survive it, I guess, in college, to jump off of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I did
Well,
it.
the first thing that comes up on YouTube is how not to die at Blue Pool.
Yeah, I've been out there and
Watch out for the blue pool rapists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, well, or
They're on the
nude
trails,
hippies,
man.
you
Stay
know,
off the
watch out for
trails.
soupy trails on the trail, or whatever, wavy gravy. Well, I guess, you know, you should be able to walk with your kids on a place and not encounter naked hippies. But then again, it's like, why not? You know, it's like you can just explain to your kids that's what, you know, happens if you never manscape.
Yeah.
That's
Gross.
yeah, that's the problem with it. It's like, you know, it's hard to explain, you know. It's like, not only is that, you know, not necessary.
Yeah, I think that could be a good learning
loincloth.
opportunity for your child. You could just be like, look, that's what happens when you don't do what mommy and daddy tell you to do. You grow
kinda
up
like-
to be a
You end up
fucking
naked living
weird,
in
naked
pool.
forest person.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you-
run around out in the forest all naked and weird, and you know, you don't have any food or you don't know what you're doing, and you're just a crazy person. So just do what mommy and daddy tell you all the time, and you'll be fine.
I guess it kind of, it was like, here's a wonderful butterfly. And then, you know, it's like, whoa, you know, fucking pretty hot, nude, hippie, a little bit of armpit hair probably or whatever, you know, but nature. And then you're like, just kind of get into a groove of feeling like pretty good about it. And then along comes the dude who's not. It's like a bummer. So
why did the presence of a dude like bum you out from like how peaceful and like natural it was for this gal to be out there with the
it was like
butterflies?
unexpected, like eye happiness, followed by kind of like, you know, look away, and then don't look back, you know, turn into a pillar of salt.
When the naked girl goes by, you find some sort of reason to like
Find a
casually
vantage
turn
spot.
To
around.
I'm just-
justify the beauty of the human body and the form.
Right.
I'm
nature.
just stopping on the side here to clean my glasses. Oh, I didn't even notice.
Don't even see you. I don't even
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
But
the
that's
guy
probably
comes by
Oregon.
and he sits on the butterfly, and
And the caterpillar comes
downhill.
out, you know, poking out of the shrub.
So was
Nobody
dude
ruined it.
naked too, Andy?
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay,
it's
so
like,
that's what it was.
I
It
forget
was
who I was
shocking.
hiking with, but it was like, well, it's just like, you know, well, that was weird, you know, and then it was a minute or two. It just seemed, you know, like they weren't, like maybe they broke up. It's like, I want to
Maybe
go
they
get
were
my clothes. I'm
tripping.
going to get my clothes on. Fuck you.
That's a classic place to break up at the Blue
Yeah.
Pool.
So like it could have been a breakup on the hike or whatever, but the dude, you know, definitely was probably with her.
One
You
of
think it
them's a
started out
slower
like
hiker.
you think it
Yeah.
started out like oh, I thought you brought the clothes.
Could be
No.
like, you know, just I don't know why, you know, it's a long trail. I mean, if you're gonna, you know, you're committed to it. It's a 4-mile hike of, running into random strangers coming around the corner going, oh, but that's probably, the best way to present it. Because if you saw the dude first, you'd be worried about rape or something. Like a solo dude wandering around naked. I get the fuck, you're naturally getting your karate stance. Like,
just as he goes by, you're just doing that the whole time.
A little unease when you see a guy that close to
absolutely.
breeding.
Well, first of all, they're drug addled, so
Mhm.
you never know what you're gonna face. For sure.
Yeah, you see a dude wandering around naked. He's either fleeing from something or he's out up to no good.
The last naked guy I saw in the wild was Carrie Mitchell and I were on Fountain Avenue in West Hollywood, and there was a naked.
Oh wow,
guy.
urban.
Yeah, naked guy walking down the street, clearly just out of his fucking mind. He wasn't like a dirty homeless guy. He was like just somebody who had partied way too much and was tripping way too hard and was just having a whole experience, pointing and yelling and dick flapping. And as we're on Fountain Avenue in some traffic, watching this guy come at us, and all the cars are laughing. First of all, it's safe because unlike your trail, Andy, we're in the car, so
yeah,
it's fine. We're laughing, but we're also watching a girl walking up the side street that she can't
towards
see the naked guy yet. So everybody in the cars were like, "Oh man, this bitch is about to get."
She's on her phone calling her agent,
seconds. And then she did the classic fucking, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then about 10 seconds later, there were cops there.
It used to be more popular. Back in the 70s, it was a thing. Yeah. I mean,
this wasn't streaking though. Streaking is running. This guy was, he was living life in a different dimension.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame he had to come back.
I don't know if he did.
Like maybe he didn't. He never has been the same after that. Yeah. Running around naked, it's a definite definite crime nowadays. I mean, if you I don't know, you cover up your taint, you're not streaking.
I take it back. The last naked man I saw in the wild was Ggreg Chaille, doing the Chaille challenge cannonball.
Oh, I guess
I would definitely consider that a naked man in the wild.
Yep.
It's quite the experience also.
I wonder what comes up if
I guess after that was remember we were all in Colorado, Andy, and we went to that place, and all of these guys got in the pool, that hot tub, naked.
Oh, you
might have
with
been
Bert.
with them. Yeah, Bert Kreischer.
Oh no. Bert didn't want me in the pool, or
But it was that the owner of the Comedy Works. It was their house. We were podcasting from there.
No.
Oh man. I haven't seen that one before, where Chaille's head is the hand of God going up his asshole.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Or is that God? It could just be an old man with his shirt off hanging out.
I think that is,
In fact, why would an old man why would my instinct think that would be God? It's just a dude, man.
Well, it's the classic photo or the classic painting, God and Adam, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't know it was one of his classics.
Yeah, I believe is that Michelangelo?
I believe so, yeah.
One of the Ninja Turtles?
Hey, they're coming back, man. Cinema's back.
What?
Barbie, Oppenheimer, and that AstroTurf fucking movie about kids getting abducted.
Yeah.
All out, people going out to the movies again.
See all three. There's our recommendations. We're all ready.
Yeah.
See all three of the triple header.
And then get your ticket late so you see where other people are sitting, I guess.
Yeah.
Or just be the reason other people move. Maybe.
Well, and I think
Oh,
that's
that's a good one.
IMAX only where you have to pick those seats, right?
That's
I think
lot
a lot of
theaters.
theaters are doing
Really?
that now, where you
Yeah.
where it's not even IMAX,
I
where they're
haven't
having
been to the theater in so long.
the upper scale ones, like the ones that have like burgers and stuff, and they'll have a chair service.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have to worry about that here.
Yeah.
Also, I don't go to movies.
Yeah, I guess it was fucking the heat that sent me there, but also I want to see, damn it, some part of my back of my mind and the dark part of my brain, I wanted to see Japanese towns melted in 3D.
But does Oppenheimer, does it cover all the way until when the bombs are dropped on?
Well, it covers
in
way
Nagasaki?
after that too. They didn't even end on the bomb, and it goes into a lot of political stuff about his life later and stuff, and all. But it's definitely, I don't know. I read a review. Somebody wrote a bad review of it, or were saying it was boring. And it kind of let me off the hook because I was trying to intellectually go, no, it's just,
It's a lot of talking.
It's a lot of talking and
Not a lot of
I
bombs.
guess, yeah, if they would have blown up one of the towns or two, but both of them, man, it's like, they both deserve their own, they deserved a bomb. So they both deserve to be recreated. They actually show him like having like flashes of a bomb going off, and it just shows regular white, or that Asians aren't regular, but it shows Caucasians facing
Chaille, edit
bomb.
that part out, would you please?
What did he say?
Actual
Asians aren't regular.
I'll put up.
No, I'm saying
timestamp here.
I'm saying they show Caucasians faces melting in a bomb, and that wasn't my understanding of, he was
in
having
the movie
he was having horrors of a bomb going off in a setting.
So his dream.
But they never showed. They showed that in a dream sequence, but they never showed actual impact of what his bombs did. And I think I didn't want to see it in a celebratory way. I wanted to see the fucking horrors of it. I mean, in 3D.
It's real.
To go, fucking hubcap almost hit me in the head, and look back and go, oh man, did the hubcap almost hit any of you people too?
Yeah, exactly.
Oppenheimer in 3D. Come on, man. You guys got money sitting around there. You're not paying anybody. But yeah, go see it, especially in the Texas heat. But you don't have time to go see anything anyway.
I don't have time to go see anything, but it would be nice to sit in the air conditioning for 3 hours. I think it's a pretty long movie, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 hours, I heard.
3 hours? Jeez.
Yeah, it's in real time. That's how long it took them to come up with the whole bomb. They were like, we can do this. Let's cram for it.
They didn't show any how the nuclear testing and all that had any what it did to the local dogs in New Mexico.
Yeah,
had to fuck them up. It also, anyway, yeah.
Well, yeah,
I've learned a lot this week from those last photos of people's hiking trips and shit.
right.
It's kind of like a quick little Dateline, is what those are. It's like, oh,
you can enjoy it at your own pace.
Oh,
you can decide if you like it and want to read more. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'll read about this one.
Yeah, saying this is the
with
photo
you.
taken moments before. That's a hook. That's like when Penthouse Forum is like, I went to cheerleader camp and recently something happened.
Before last weekend, I never thought your stories were true.
Yeah.
Till it happened to me.
And I hear, fuck, man. This is information I maybe didn't grab enough of, but I think I heard that the guy, the Penthouse forums were written basically by one dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like finding out that like the
Wait, they weren't
Watchtower
real?
is just written by 3 people or whatever. Yeah, that's what. Well, I don't know if it's real or I dream stuff that is sort of half real. Hey, but yeah, I think that's true. I mean, it makes sense. It's like because they all kind of had the same.
It would be
there was a lot
easier.
of them that were pretty formula.
Yeah, it'd be a
Well,
lot.
wouldn't they take someone sent in a letter and then they just kind of like zhuzh it up a little bit or make it correct the spelling?
Could you imagine like the real ones would be fucking great. You know, it'd be like when Chad reads small town news or you know, his beat. Like then I wrapped her up and grabbed her by the back of her hair, said, "Baby, I'm coming." Shit like that. It would be more, you know, it'd be more country.
Yeah. People aren't great writers.
Okay, you've used butthole 4 times. Maybe we'll
and misspelled it different ways each time.
Yeah. Oh man, we should find out about that.
Yeah,
I'm looking for it, but I think it's going to take a little bit more than what I can.
That could be a work for next week thing. We could maybe
yeah.
have that guy on.
Research
to
project.
I mean, it was a thing. Everyone knew about it.
Yeah, it's probably some dude he was like an incel, never fucked anyone.
Those were hot stories, though. They worked for me.
Yeah, you get a piano teacher and an eager 18-year-old student on the edge of maturity.
It was always like some guy who broke up with his girlfriend, so he was just gonna fucking go down to the pool and just chill out, have a couple of beers and relax and just forget about her. And then guess what happened?
Boom. And then as soon as she fucking leaves you, you know, you fucking get on the typewriter and bang out the story.
Can't wait till Penn Hustles about this.
I want to keep typing while the details are fresh on my typing finger.
Smell this story.
But the real stories would involve meth and broken fucking tile floors. But that would be like
trafficking.
They should do like a you know, country western version of all them fucking her big ass on the fucking kitchen floor kind of thing. I'm not encouraging country music.
I think that actually is a thing, Andy. I think you can watch all kinds of videos with big asses on floors.
Oh yeah,
doing stuff. Yeah,
I know they smash cakes and pies and shit. I mean,
you can do whatever you want.
I'm willing to live in the modern, you know, I know what's going on out there.
You got your ear to the street.
I'm too much of a sweet tooth to see some big pile on top of the last piece of, oh, there's a piece of shortcake left. I think I'll have that. Oh, God damn it. You sat on that shortcake. You're making a video, you sick fuck. That would be a cool one though. If you're gonna squat on something, make it a piece of shortcake with a lot of strawberries and whipped cream.
Shortcake? Like a sponge cake?
I don't know.
You want like a multi-layer cake, man.
We share this space with aliens, and one of them had a major glitch today. So whatever the bitch can squat on, I'm willing to watch it. And then if it's a fucking, you know, I don't know.
Strawberry shortcake would be a fun thing to watch someone sit on.
If you saw a dude do it, it'd be like, hey, you're you know, it'd be obvious vandalism.
Yeah, it's gross.
But I mean, I think, I was talking to Stanhope about it. Did you happen across the big woman who she was at a grocery store shoving cake into her vagina and her folds?
What?
It was a big to-do on the internet a few days ago. And I told Doug, I was talking to him, I go, I usually don't bother you with this sort of stuff, but there's a big, large woman who was shoving cake and pies into her crevices at a store naked, like, you know, worst case scenario for what you'd run across as nude. And then the employees were just kind of letting her play out, let her do it. Is that it? Oh, no, that's the other.
No, this is just cake sitting.
Cake sitting. Man. You go. You be real careful. You got to be real careful when you're ordering cake. Okay, I would like a cake sitting for 4.
I'd like.
You're like, oh shit! No, this is not what I ordered at all.
I'd like to order a cake unsat.
Yeah, I thought I was ordering 4 pieces of cake, but yeah. So that anyway, it was like a Ralph store, and she was behind the fucking counter at in the dessert spot.
She wasn't eating it. She was
sucking it. No, she's shoving it up her ass and her vagina, and she had she was a larger, I think, a lady. You know, I don't know. That's what
you didn't retweet this.
There's video of this. How did I not see?
Yeah, look. I think Doug found it by going, oh, and then I just hung up because I was like, he's gonna need to.
But where did you find it?
It was on the internet the other day. Look
The
up
internet is very
fat
vague.
naked woman shoving cake in her asshole
I don't
What?
want that
at a
on
grocery
my search
store.
history.
It's not as vulgar as it sounds. I mean, it is, but it's like kind of, it's just it's
But
Everything comes up
don't-
Pornhub.
You don't remember what you were watching? You were on Twitter?
no, it was on Twitter. Yeah, it was I don't think I did retweet it because I watched it and then I watched it a couple more
That's
times.
why you have to retweet it so that you can
Yeah.
have it.
Well, I didn't think it was. She's like that. Those motherfuckers aren't. To me, I want to know her story more than the other. That everyone wants to know about her. That's the motherfucker ain't real. And she's an Oklahoma student. Just graduated. Whatever.
You found
But
out?
I want to. Yeah. Well,
That's
I
just
think
because
they
she
kind
was
of
kind of
bust-
hot.
Yeah, she's
Right?
kind of hot, but I mean, I'd like to know what set. How did you end up at the grocery store? You broke bottles, and then you took your clothes off, and then you went over and started shoving cake in your vagina and your asshole,
Yeah.
and did not have a political statement or anything. She didn't, I'm for Biden. I vote for Trump or whatever. It was just a non-political.
It seems like a
Just-
wasted moment, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, there's nothing more free, I guess. Yeah, and I've seen it in other videos too, where you just go into a store and break shit and call them assholes and make a big thing, and then they don't really fucking do anything or whatever. So if so I guess I was like, maybe
Yeah.
she was like Lady Gaga of exhibition art. I was like, she didn't have anything to say, so they're like, well, we can't do anything. And it's like, I mean, I can see as a baker, that's not what you envision when you're baking a cake. But you gotta go, well, they're paying me, so it's like, fuck it, But I think that the baker was like, this is outrageous or whatever. It's like, let it go, man. This is beyond us.
I can't find anything, Andy. I'm seeing these like
Maybe I
disturbing videos of
it would be nice
kids
if I
getting their-
dreamed it. I wish.
Never happened.
Remember when you used to be able to dream more fucked up shit than you could find on the internet? Now,
Yeah, those were the good old days.
yeah, I had quite the imagination. Now I can't remember if it's me or like,
No.
if I'm thinking of this, it's like, man, I gotta hire an actress.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of one time. Oh, it was a incident at the Family Inn with Henry Phillips and the hooker with Doug. I think he wrote about it in one, but we'd call Doug, used to, sometimes we'd make prank phone calls, and sometimes those were people who sold their vaginas or services. It could have been like the one who tried to sell me on the idea of a vagina, but Doug was one of his characters was he was a fat, disgusting man who ate all the time, and he wanted a hooker to come up and feed him. And
But you'd go to the back page and you'd call someone locally after the show, try and get someone to come over, and then Doug would go into a character.
I just want you to come over and shove cake in my fat face. It's like a real pitiful, and he got this one. He says, baby, I'll come over and I'll shove some cake right in your fucking mouth. And then I don't need the salty talk. But when I saw that woman shoving cake in her vagina, it's like it brought up that memory of like the hooker that he was trying to solicit a hooker to come shove cake in his face. I don't think he was trying to solicit. He was soliciting a good time.
That's right.
And she made the good time better by saying that. She did not come over. We hired a different one. And it's all documented in a book, so I won't ruin it. But get Doug's book. I don't remember which.
You already told us 5 things that happened in the Oppenheimer movie.
Yep.
So
the
don't
dogs.
worry about spoiling Doug's book that he wrote a couple years ago.
What else happened in Oppenheimer? I'm going to put a list out. 6 things that happened in Oppenheimer and 6 things that didn't. Number 1, Hiroshima didn't happen.
3D effects.
Yes. Pearl Harbor, I'd have thrown Pearl Harbor in there.
Pearl Harbor.
Well, you got to have the setup to do the punchline. You can't just go bombing cities without showing Pearl Harbor. which really
Uh-huh.
was a pretty good sneak attack. As far
Oh,
as
yeah.
you know, it was a bummer for us, the Allies or whatever.
It was
Yeah.
a bummer
But it
for
was a-
us. Yeah.
Let's look at the numbers, Chaille. Pull up the numbers. How many people died at Hiroshima, and how many people died at Nagasaki, and then how many people died at Pearl Harbor? Because I
many-
want to say there was
How many
about
died of boredom and
a couple
Oppenheimer?
100,000 people. And
Yeah,
I
it was
think
more of an insult attack.
yeah, I think 1,000
more
about
of a fuck you.
about
Mhm.
1,200 people died at Pearl Harbor. I
Yeah.
think somewhere around
It's-
there, which
it's
is a
a-
lot. It's a lot of soldiers. That's a good sneak attack. Chad's right.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh
good
yeah,
sneak
I mean
attack.
they had to reload, refuel, and shit. I was like, what?
Hiroshima
Sneaky
was
fuckers.
Nagasaki. Shit. Hold on. Nagasaki was 40,000. Hiroshima
40.
was 70,000.
Really, I thought it was a
Yeah.
lot more than that. That's
Yeah,
still a
so-
lot. Unacceptable.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's a bummer. It's a, and if it's and for them to be disrespected by this movie, not even
not even
show it.
utilized.
yeah,
Americans died in Pearl Harbor 2,403.
how many died in
Those
Grizzly
underline
Man?
it.
None. You don't see it. Two actually.
Yeah, you don't see
You
it.
you don't even actually hear it, Andy. That's not
know.
even the real.
No, you hear it. You hear-
I learned that.
You hear what is the, I mean, I know I'm probably a liberal or whatever, but this is more left than me, where she's like, never show this. I remember that scene, and it was like, and then thinking, aha, no, they're going to show it. And then that's it. It's like, what? No, man. Nothing prepared me for that. To watch a movie about a guy getting eaten by a bear, to only have him not get eaten by the bear. It's just fucking let down.
Oh,
I don't think anybody liked that ending.
The whole thing was lame.
Especially Grizzly Man.
I hated that guy so much. All I wanted to watch was him get eaten by a
Yeah,
bear.
he was a fucking douche.
He was I remember him from the Letterman show. He was always on there, and Dave would make jokes about him being eaten. So it was like it was cool that it, I mean, he did,
It happened.
yeah, if he'd have gotten hit by a drunk driver, there wouldn't have been a movie about him.
Good point.
Yeah. So it's the whole ending of the movie was ruined because, that's why we're here, man. Eat that motherfucker.
I never heard of the guy until he got eaten. So
Timothy Treadwell. Yeah. Fucking American, dude.
Dipshit.
Or was he?
Mhm.
Was he Canadian?
Yeah, no, he was American. He spent some time in Peoria, actually. He went
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he went to Bradley University for a little while.
Is that liberal?
Well, I mean, yeah, I
I've never
guess.
heard of it. Bradley. Oh, Bradley.
Bradley. Yeah, it's private. It's a Peoria college.
He's
Good basketball team. Played in the
it turns
Missouri
out-
Valley Conference.
he probably did more for bears by being eaten than he ever did. All that other shit just kind of encouraged other fucking people to think, oh, maybe I should do that. But
Yeah,
him being eaten was like, I think that his life mission was, being eaten.
you think he thought sooner or later this is how this is gonna end?
I don't know that he thought that through, but I think his legacy is maybe don't fuck with bears. This guy thought he was, he was
so
hanging
he's
out.
like the opposite of the YouTubers you're talking about jumping into the fucking pond and doing, double backflips,
Well,
and then encouraging all these idiots to go jump into the blue pool and they all end up fucking paralyzed. This
Right.
movie showed you that, yeah, this is what's going to happen. The bears,
Yeah,
gonna
climate-
A
eat it up.
cautionary tale, they call it.
Yeah,
mhm,
they're going to
yeah,
get
like
eaten by a fucking bear, you dummy.
show people getting tackle the climate as your thing.
It's kind of like that kid who went into the woods in Alaska
Yeah,
and then inspired other people to go. And it's like, that was a fucking story about an idiot. You fucking
Yeah.
idiots. That shouldn't inspire you to do anything. So I don't know. You never know about people.
Into the Wild.
Yes,
Christmas.
Into the
that's
Wild,
it.
yeah.
Thank you. I was trying
Canvas.
to remember the title of it. I was
Eddie
like, it's
Vedder
the
soundtrack,
Canvas,
right?
yeah.
And Eddie
Yeah,
Vedder.
that's absolutely correct. Eddie Vedder on vocals. It was a good movie. The kid just fucked up.
Yeah.
He was in over his head.
He's having a good, adventure.
Yeah, for a while he was.
For a while he was, yeah.
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 Well, you see
Even
those
when that
fucking
picture
people
was
on
taken.
Alone and shit. They think they got working knowledge of that shit, and every once in a while somebody will fuck up early on and go on home. But none of them eat poison berries, probably.
Well, and those are
But-
people who actually do have knowledge of that stuff. They've
Extensive.
studied it and lived it. Yeah.
I'm a homesteader.
Yeah. Yeah. You put that up?
Well, I've been
You
doing
said bullshitter? I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah, what was that? You cut out for a second there, Andy.
Homesteading, you just live in a place and then you have like some plants and shit.
Yeah, that's it.
I got
Yeah,
squirrels.
Sure, same thing.
I got a fire pit. I could build a fire if I wanted.
Oh, I got a fire pit. Oh, I got a fire table. Am I still a homesteader? Probably not.
Well, you got to have
it's
some
fire.
you gotta
There's fire
you're-
comes out of it.
You're a leaser or a carpetbagger.
Oh yeah, you're a renter.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
so
a
I'm
Then you can't
already.
be a homesteader.
Oh, sorry. I'm
You have to
out.
put down roots.
Yeah.
Small goat,
Sorry. Beta here. Beta.
a
Sorry,
small
guys.
goat, and a mortgage is basically all you need for a
They
starter
hand
kit.
you a goat when you buy your first house.
That's a
Here you
starter
go,
kit
you're on your way.
homesteader. Some sort
Get
of
some tin
religious
cans, he'll love 'em.
philosophy, the ability to whittle.
Mhm. The patience, I think, is to whittle. I don't think there's much
Yeah.
ability to
Talking
it.
about homesteading, I've noticed one of my mesquite trees the other day, a whole half of it was fucking dead. I go and look, it has some sort of boring beetle in it.
Oh, that's
Look it up.
Ringo.
Just because he didn't jerk off with the other two.
That was the one. I looked it up online. That was exactly the one.
Oh, did I jump on your shit, dude?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I had to.
apologize.
I had to.
No,
I had to fucking chop it a whole thing down with a chainsaw all day long. It was fucking hot as shit. Chop it all up. Then I had to barbecue all day long. Because I had to burn the wood. And then the next day I had to pretend to barbecue because you're not allowed to burn. With burn ban right now.
Yeah.
But I needed to burn the wood, so I just dug a big pit and put rocks around it, and then just burned only like a barbecue sized pit. So if any fire department came, I still would be within legal size. But goddamn, 2 days of fucking
Jesus.
homesteading sucks, man.
Yeah.
That's
Probably
them.
when it ends, Greg and Brett should figure out which one of us is closer to live on, because I spend my homestead. We can build a shelter in the backyard. When the fucking
You can
system
smoke
shuts
weed.
down there in Texas, we got, well, not in theory, we have lettuce, like we could plant some or whatever I could get. And
Wait a minute, dude. You're on the coast, dude. Once the climate crisis hits, you're going to be under fucking water. Texas is going to be a fucking paradise, my friend. It's going to
that's
be.
why
the
I've been building a boat with my homesteading skills.
Oh no.
Fuck, I just burned all my wood, Andy. I could give me some wood.
Oh yeah, I tore apart the bench that fucking big fat Inman ruined, and so a lot of the wood.
Oh, the one he sat on and it broke.
Yeah, but if I got some of that flex, I got some screen, and I'll wrap it up, and then I'll put some Flex Seal on that motherfucker, and I'll have a floatable device right there.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, when the climate hits here or whatever, the oceans come, I'll just I'll paddle and then work my way down to Chad's homestead. I'll grab my lettuce, throw it in the bag.
Just on a kayak eating lettuce.
You got a lot of mountains though, Andy. I mean, you're not like
That's
right
gonna
on the
be
beach.
a long adventure.
No, he's gonna be underwater, Chaille.
I get like
I mean, I don't know how that works.
a sidekick kid that I just find on the road who's like maybe blind or something. No, I wouldn't want to deal with that.
Just you'd help him just
Oh,
long enough
boy.
to get on the bus, and then you'd abandon him.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, never mind that. But it seems like
Figure out what's in his bag.
Yeah, here, let me hold that bag for you.
More lettuce. God damn it.
no fucking bacon, bro. Never mind that.
Ah.
I wouldn't want to deal with nobody's fucking kid in the Armageddon. You got to keep it, it's all about you.
Yeah.
And then, making sure your lettuce gets down there so you can have some javelina and lettuce.
Yeah. If you meet a
Tacos.
guy in the dystopian hellscape future after our Armageddon, and he's just hanging around with some kid that's not his,
Oh man.
find another sex trafficker. So
Yeah, what kind of
shoot
shoes?
that
I
guy
mean,
right in the head.
That,
You
isn't
can tell
that
they,
Last
man,
of Us?
But here's the thing: is they're going to be confused.
Yeah,
Kids
shoot
are
that
all
guy.
going to have shitty shoes in Armageddon, so it doesn't mean they're necessarily poor and you should fuck them. It means that they haven't been able to re-up their.
I'm just
sneaks.
saying, in the Armageddon, you wouldn't take care of somebody else's kid unless that kid was whatever the Last of Us story was, the future of the
Right,
society.
like
or
they're
The chosen
they've
one.
already been attacked
golden
by the
child.
bat, survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
You just meet some randos on the street, and it's just some guy, and he's hauling around some 8-year-old.
yeah, it's
Do
sex
everybody
trafficking.
That's not immune to the disease that's ravaging.
That's one thing that's going to heat up in the dystopian future is child prostitution. It's like, if it's between your 8-year-old and going to bed without a sandwich, you're gonna go, well.
One of my favorite Stephen King books is about two dudes that take care of a little girl they don't know.
See, he's starting to look like me, that Stephen King. He looks like me if I would have had more money for drugs. Stephen King, his face.
I don't know. I think
I'm
you've said that
starting to see
before.
it. Yeah.
There's been
Well,
a
worst case
pictures-
scenario. When I had
Shell
more,
is a pretty good story.
when I had
She's
more,
not a little girl. She's like a teenage girl.
what's that one
It
called?
doesn't make
They-
the story better.
But they get
necessarily.
accused. They get accused right away by a Bible thumping lady of exactly that. I know why you only have her with you for one reason. Yeah.
When do we start? We call it the dystopian present, because that's actually probably, two guys probably taking some girl they met on the road to go get an abortion up in Kentucky or out of Kentucky or some shit.
Yeah.
Because I go, if I stayed in the sun a little too long and then I went in and I was like, oh man, I look
Yeah.
like Stephen King completely now. It's happening. People's faces are not melting, but people are getting burnt.
Morphine.
What's that?
Morphine, just kind of
Stephen
changing the
King-
same way.
Stephen
Yeah.
King right there looks like if Bruce Willis didn't have dementia, Bruce Willis could play Stephen King right now.
He's got the Cruella DeVille hairdo.
Yeah, that's yeah.
He's a liberal.
Oh, that looks like a Bruce Willis mouth to me.
Bruce Willis he's still making, or they have videos of him hanging out and shit.
Yeah, he's almost done too.
But
Sadly.
yeah, well, that's the thing with that shit. It can go on for a long time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, true.
But
He's not well. It's a shame because I always
yeah.
liked the guy.
yeah. He was all right. Die Hard, fucking great movie.
He did a lot of good shit, man.
The classic. Holidays, whenever you want to see that. I think of it as the 4th of July movie.
Because of everything blowing up.
Because blowing up shit. I think Oppenheimer is a disappointing 4th of July movie where you're like, was that the grand finale? No, that can't be. That was a warm-up shot. Wait till you see now.
Wait, that can't be it.
They're still
Yeah.
talking.
Wait till you see Hiroshima. No. Maybe extended cuts, so. But go see
Yeah.
it, it's a
Director's cut.
director's cut,
Possible.
get your 3D glasses, your popcorn, cough a little bit if people get too close, because people are still a little nervous, It's allergies probably.
All right, let's put a fucking bow on this. What do you say?
All right then.
We had a good
Yeah, we
run.
got to watch some soccer, motherfuckers. The ladies are on.
The ladies are playing right now.
Yeah, the nether regions.
And I enjoy the women's soccer. I will say I get a real kick out of it. And it's a good game, the United States women versus the Netherlands. Now it's a pool play game, so though even if it's not a win or lose kind of thing where the other team's out, probably in the group they're in, both of those teams they'll be the two teams that move on. So
I didn't
But
know
neither
that,
team
so
wants to lose,
it's not a
so it's going to
mandatory.
still be a good game.
Like winning is does it add to something down the line?
The top
if
two
there's-
teams move on. The bottom two teams do not.
Yeah.
But the top two teams, if you're the top seed in your first knockout round game, the single elimination tournament of 16, in your first game, you play a number 2 from a different
Yeah.
group.
So there's an
So all-
advantage to
All the
being-
number ones get, so you want to be in the number 1 position
Yeah.
for sure. Plus, this is a rematch of the last World Cup final. It was the United States versus.
There you go,
the-
Chad.
Oh, that's right.
So it's a big, so these are two
Uh-huh.
of the top teams for sure. So it's going to be a good game. The rest of it's tough to see because I don't know what fucking time it's on. It's like on at 5 in the morning or some shit.
Daily time.
Yeah.
My recommendation is Oppenheimer in IMAX 3D.
What, but
Bring your own glasses.
but
Be my
Andy,
OG, bro.
OG.
but even watching it in IMAX, was it better to see it in IMAX?
The
I don't-
talking was taller.
Yeah, it was just a lot of
Just
chat.
don't see the point.
It was for a couple of those scenes where they show the test bomb going off. and
Yeah.
The racket of that, it was cool, but I still would have liked to see some, 3D effects out of it. That would have been perfect. You could have been like hanging out by Matt Damon and then like, oh, look out, Matt. Shit.
Oh, Matt was blown up
He was on the test
close.
site range.
too close to the testing.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Matt Damon lately.
Good for you.
Did you guys plan on smoking a joint at the same time?
I
Yeah,
had one.
they've been eyeballing each other for a while, Chaille.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching them.
It's a kind of a homesteader thing.
I loaded this one up with Keith while we were chatting. This is so.
Yeah.
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 This is I have an evening joint and then I go harvest the crops.
Get out there and
Check the goat out.
put down the cows.
Yeah, make sure the goat's
Yeah.
cool.
Bedtime
man.
now, so
I just go out and go, hey, goats, you cool?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I go to my phone and I call my landlord because my garbage disposal seal's leaking.
Again.
Help again. And my door doesn't close right.
I've built automatic waterers and feeders now for my chickens, so basically I can just check on them with the security camera now and see. So
You
they're
can
all
run
dead.
your live chicken stream from, you don't even have to be out there anymore.
You've reached
That
God.
show produces itself.
It's very relaxing.
I'm just gonna
Watch
go.
that, like having the chickens on in the background.
Yeah, I enjoy them.
That's why you want the chicken premium, so you don't get a lot of the commercials.
Yeah, get the premium so you don't get all the commercials.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Ads chicken stream.
Yeah, I definitely subscribe. I just used my Twitch funds today to go get chicken feed. So
Nice.
subscribe to the Twitch and
There
watch
you
some
go.
chickens.
Well, I can
Rosa,
pull that up
huh?
right here. Is that on Chad? Is that on this?
That is. I'm
Oh,
gonna.
yeah.
I just tweeted the other day. I think I'm gonna find somebody who knows how to do it and that can fix it all up and put artwork all in there that has like chicken stuff all related and make it all chickeny. Since I'm dedicated doing dedicated.
I need someone with
stuff.
chicken skills.
Yeah, someone
Bad
who's
chicken skills.
had Twitch skills. That's chicken art skills.
Let's see what I can scratch out. If you want chicken art, I can get some sticks and bury it in dirt and then make it into a mud cake. Like that's what chickens, that's their art.
All right. I feel like we're trying to go a whole nother direction now.
The
I'm not sure that made any sense.
The joint's
Well,
pretty good.
we are.
Clearly.
Oh shit. All right. Anybody else? Anything? Chaille, you got anything that you want to?
No,
I think I heard you watching
I'm on
Deadwood.
season 3, episode 10 of Deadwood. So I'm almost
season 3.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot they did a season 3.
Yeah, three's the
lately.
wrap up.
Yeah.
Three's the last. Yeah. So I'm getting near to
The
where I'm
new-
getting
I
disappointed
forgot
that they
about
didn't
that because they only
continue.
did 2 when they actually did it.
I don't remember basically from about episode 5 on. The storyline is gone to me. So I was drunk a lot watching it hungover.
It's a great show.
Yeah, so we're into the Hearst and all that stuff going on, and the getting ready for the election.
Sucker Hearst.
So it's brand new to me because I don't remember seeing it. So
Nice. Oh, that's wonderful.
That's the best.
That
Yeah.
is. Fuck.
and I'm still enjoying the fuck out of watching Suits and then watching the Legal Eagle knock it down the next day.
Everybody's loving that Suits. I'm seeing that all over the Twitter.
Yeah,
It's Netflix is pushing it hard. So
yeah, Netflix is definitely pushing it hard. But watching like how ridiculous like the writing is, like how many times like this guy would be disbarred in one episode from a real like a legal guy saying like, well, yeah, that just wouldn't. It's fucking so great. Yeah, because they're all full of
Jeopardy. They don't have that.
You just got me on that goddamn.
You forged a signature in front of a client? Yeah, yeah.
Why not?
It's not even about being disbarred. The firm would be in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
So check out my suit. Pretty nice. All right. I just started rewatching Better Call Saul, which I never watched all the way through, so I'm very excited to get through it. But it's going to take me a long time because
Oh man, yeah.
But it's
how many
it's
seasons
so good.
did that go?
I think 6.
Wow.
But
That's
at the start of Better Call Saul, the opening scene is after the end of Breaking Bad. So you see that's the first scene. But then the show then jumps into the backstory from pre-Breaking Bad. So season 1 of Better Call Saul is all the origin story of Saul Goodman. So it's
one of my
pretty
favorite
great.
shows.
I think it's pretty great. And I've heard such good things, and I felt like, all right, I gotta fucking.
It's like it becomes like 2 different shows. It's like once it the brother stuff plays out, and then it becomes more like Breaking Bad.
All the shit that I watched was the brother stuff. I watched all the setup, and then I
wow,
because I never had cable, so I would always get it a year and a half late on Netflix or whatever, and it just But then there was a pandemic, and I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Pandemic.
Never.
That shit was made up on a Hollywood lot.
This is classic Odenkirk, not like that fucking Nobody.
Oh, come on now.
Such garbage.
He's a badass in that, man.
Yeah.
He kicks some ass.
I bet you he'd drive a Cybertruck.
Haven't you ever been on a bus and just started a fight with some Nazi-looking punks?
Oh, that was such a good scene, man.
Yeah. It's like he's tired of this shit, and he's gonna beat the fuck out of some people.
He needed to beat somebody up.
All right. I love you.
I've been listening to a bunch of stuff, but I have I don't nothing's grabbing me. I have a book on every different platform, but one of them that I guess that I'm liking the most is called A History of the Vikings, Children of Ash and Elm.
Oh,
by Neil Price, and it's pretty interesting. Vikings have always been, tangentially interesting to me, but I've never really did like a deep dive into, real history and stuff.
They went hard.
Yeah, they were rapier than pirates.
One of the first things he was like,
rapier.
They always wore those T-shirts. We're rapier than pirates.
Yeah.
Pirates ain't got nothing on us.
No shit.
It's one of the first things this dude points out is he's like, if people who idolize Vikings need to, look again, because these guys are fucking gross.
Yeah, they would rape a pirate.
Yeah, they had the ore everywhere.
Fucking rape each other.
Wait. Instead of saying row, did you just say ore as a verb?
Yeah,
ore everywhere.
Yeah, they had the ore everywhere. And they all like the Vikings were like working a canoe. And pirates were just hanging out.
Canoe?
They're oaring around the North Atlantic in their canoes.
You need to listen to this.
They oar around in their canoes.
Come on. Fucking homestead, man. You'll learn this shit. Do some of your own homesteading research.
Oh, jeez.
They go build a fire and put some fuse together.
Oh, fuck you. God damn it. All right. Well, we hope that you will oar your way back to us next week when we come right back here, do this same silly bullshit again. And if you would like to join our Patreon and help Chad get some chicken feed, that would be great. It's just $5 a month. It's nothing. It's chicken feed.
Chicken feed.
And literally in this case. So patreon.com/issueswithandy, $5 a month, simple, and you're in. And if not, and you're on YouTube with us, we like that too. Like and subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, try to explain this show to them. I dare you. And we'll be right back here. We'll do it again next week. We'll see you then. Peace.
Canoed.
We're in the canoe.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, that was great.
Well, we moved
Oaring around. Well, they had to oar everywhere. I was like, wait a minute, what? Wait, what?
I didn't think I'd be able to do a podcast on a day where my beloved Mitch McConnell froze up at the mic.
Oh my God.
We think McConnell's dead in a week. I think he's fine.
I think he'll be
Something
dead.
weird.
I think he'll be dead before the end of the year.
Yeah.
He'll be dead in a week.
He's not going to outlive Jimmy Carter.
No.
No.
Look, I mean, that really was the kind of fucking like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, that's a person in decline.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean,
you know, it's one of like my dad had a bunch of small strokes and a couple big ones.
EIAs.
And yeah, and when anyone has anything like that, they are affected.